All right. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I hope we all having a good week, man. Hope we all having a good week. Goodness. Can't believe the week flew by as well. Now we back to the weekend as well. So welcome to another episode of Friday Night Run on a Saturday again. Getting after it. We definitely have a lot to talk about. There's definitely been a lot going on this week as always. So look, I hope you're doing well. This is just a quick reminder as well before we get started. Just make sure that you go ahead and like the stream, share the stream so it gets out there. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube. Super important. Got a lot of gang of good ass content coming out for you guys. So once again, subscribe to the YouTube. Let them know that we're here. Let them know that we're getting after it. You know what I mean? And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started here. So, as always, there's been a lot going on in the anime and manga space this past week. And what we really have to talk about is what might be one of the biggest shifts in the anime industry that we've seen in years. Because according to recent reports now, Netflix has now surpassed Crunchyroll as the #1 anime streaming platform globally in multiple major markets. And this is huge. And if that trend continues, we might be looking at a complete restructuring of the anime streaming landscape as we know it. Now, look. For years, Crunchyroll has basically had like a monopoly on dedicated anime streaming outside of Japan. Like, let's be honest, High Dive exists, they're around, but Crunchyroll has really been giving everybody the business when it came to legal streaming, especially with the Funimation merger. They've pretty much been the default option for legal streaming in the West. And if you wanted the most seasonal anime, the most simulcast, the biggest overall catalog, etc., you had to go to Crunchyroll. Now, once again, High Dive would have some gems, but they've really kind of struggled recently. And trust me, nobody wants to see them do well more than me, but you know, the facts are kind of the facts when it comes to this. Because what I've always said is this, is that competition is necessary. Competition is healthy because when one company dominates too hard for too long, innovation slows down and ultimately like we as the consumer suffer, right? So the fact that Netflix is aggressively stepping into anime in a real way is a huge deal. And this isn't really just Netflix seemingly licensing random anime anymore. They're making strategic plays, right? And have been, I'd say, really for like the past year or so. But now we're talking major partnerships with studios like MAPPA. We're talking about the upcoming One Piece remake, which is huge, being exclusive to Netflix. Once again, that's massive. And that's in addition to some pretty seminal series like Ranma 1/2 that are already exclusive to their platform. So once again, this is huge because One Piece is arguably the biggest like anime IP on the planet. So Netflix clearly isn't treating anime like some side category anymore. They're treating it like a core pillar of their global entertainment strategy. Big deal. And honestly, I really see this having ripple effects across the entire industry because now the question becomes, right, if Netflix is willing to spend real money, lock down exclusives, partner directly with studios, and push anime to an even larger mainstream global audience, what does Crunchyroll do in response? Like, does this force them to improve the app experience, and improve simulcasts, improve pricing, improve marketing, improve how they support production, so on and so forth? And beyond that, what does this mean for the future of anime itself? Are we heading towards like a streaming war, similar to what happened with Hollywood television and whatnot? Are anime studios about to gain more leverage because now there are multiple giants competing for content? You know, there's a lot to unpack here. So tonight what we're going to do is break down the numbers. We're going to look at some of the reports, what Netflix is doing behind the scenes, the MAPPA situation, the One Piece remake exclusivity, and why this honestly might be the beginning of a new era for anime globally. Boom. So as you can see here, you know, we got some tweets pulled up, we got some articles pulled up, and we're going to kind of jump into that action as we talk about it. So this was what was going crazy on Twitter. Netflix has officially surpassed Crunchyroll as the #1 anime streaming service in major countries, like we said. And so this was according to a GEM Anime Global white paper that was published. And then we'll kind of jump into the article here as we're looking. So boom. So as they say here, Netflix overtakes Crunchyroll as top anime streaming platform. Huge, right? Boom. So a new global report shows Netflix has overtaken Crunchyroll as the most used anime streaming service in most countries, including the United States. The shift reflects Netflix's massive general audience reach and strategic anime investments, while Crunchyroll remains favored by hardcore fans for niche and simulcast titles. The change signals intensifying competition among streaming platforms for both casual and dedicated anime viewers worldwide. And so we'll take a look at the subscriber numbers for pretty much all three, because I'm going to be looking at this like as a case study for both Netflix, Crunchyroll, and High Dive. Now, I think the biggest thing to remember here as well is Netflix is obviously a humongous platform. I think they have something like 300 million worldwide paying subscribers, right? I think Crunchyroll has like 21 million subscribers, and then High Dive has like less than a million, right? So we have to look at the kind of content though that these audiences are consuming. So Netflix obviously is a more general audience. It's not just anime that they're consuming. So it's like, yeah, they may have 300 million whatever subscribers, but how many of those are there just for anime? Whereas with Crunchyroll, 21 million subscribers, right? But they're all there for anime. Same thing, High Dive, less than a million, but they're all there for anime, right? So that's also something to keep in mind. But the big deal, I think, for me when it comes to that is like you have 300 million people, and as anime becomes even bigger, that brings in kind of more of that casual audience as you see anime getting like whatever the equivalent like a front page would be over and over and over again. So this can lead to the conversion of new fans who are really seeing it for the first time, right? Kind of similar to how like if you grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s, right, as Toonami became a mainstay on Cartoon Network, that drew in so many people who may not have otherwise been exposed to anime, right? Big deal. But we'll continue on with this. So, boom, Netflix surpasses Crunchyroll in key markets. So, according to GM Partners, Anime Global White Paper 2026, excuse me, Netflix is now the most used anime streaming service in 7 of 9 surveyed countries, including the US, with YouTube and Bilibili leading in Japan and China, respectively. Crunchyroll only appeared in the top 3 in Brazil, ranking behind Netflix and YouTube. Prime Video secured top 3 position in 6 countries, while YouTube did so in 8, underscoring the broad competition across platforms. Yeah, I completely even forgot about Prime Video, bro. Like, I'm barely ever checking shit out there. That's just keeping it a fucking bug. But why Netflix reach Trump's specialist appeal? So Netflix's advantage stems from its massive global subscriber base and ease of access, which introduces anime to viewers who might not actively seek it elsewhere. Exactly. So that's kind of the point I was making elsewhere, right? So you might be on Netflix just to kind of browse through, and you're going to catch those people who might be like, I've never really watched anime before. I might have seen 1 or 2 series. Fuck it. What's this big shit that Netflix is pushing? Right? What's this big series here? I'll give this a watch. Chances are, as you get more and more titles on their platform, because Netflix already has a pretty decent anime library, right? But as it becomes an area of focus for them, right? You're going to find that segment of people who are like, hey, look, let me check this out. And the odds of them finding something that they like as your offerings increases the likelihood, as to say, that some people become more dedicated anime fans, right? So, the platform reported that 50% of its worldwide users regularly watch anime, benefiting from cross-promotion within its diverse content library. In contrast, Crunchyroll's deep catalog and rapid simulcast releases cater to dedicated fans, but fail to convert casual viewers at scale. Yes. So, Crunchyroll is where you go to when you want the simulcast, right? Like, all right, cool. The new series releases, it debuts Wednesday in Japan, Wednesday equivalent in the US, so on and so forth. So like I said, for that dedicated anime fan base, Crunchyroll is still going to be, those numbers are still going to be more significant, right? Whereas Netflix is appealing to that more casual fan. So licensing battles shape platform strategies. Anime licensing operates through Japan's production committee system, with rights sold in stages. Simulcast, dominated by Crunchyroll, SVOD, where Netflix plays premiums, AVOD, and theatrical. So exclusive licensing deals allow platforms to differentiate, while co-productions give them long-term rights and creative input. So this competitive dynamic is intensifying as streaming services vie for global anime audiences, mirroring trends in other OTT content strategies, right? Boom. And then, hold on real quick. Let me see if I can get us some music right quick. There it is. Expedition 33 soundtrack. Can't go wrong, right? So look. So Bilibili's dominance in China's anime streaming. So in China, Bilibili ranks as the leading anime streaming platform, driven by its roots in anime, comics, and gaming culture, as well as its signature Danmu real-time comment feature. The platform reported over 341 million active users in 2024 and 117 million daily active users in Q3 of 2025. Its position is strengthened by the broader growth of China's anime market, which saw a 24% surge in demand from 2023 to 2024, fueled by both Japanese imports and rising domestic productions. So, future scenarios in the anime streaming race. Industry trends suggest two plausible developments. Netflix could consolidate its lead through more exclusive co-productions and global licensing deals, which we'll talk about later because they're already starting to do that, right? With the exclusivity of the One Piece remake made by WIT, and then their partnership moving forward with MAPPA, which is huge, right? So they're already kind of doing this, right? And you already see that this has to be part of a broader strategy on their part. So once again, Netflix could consolidate its lead through more exclusive co-productions and global licensing deals, leveraging its mainstream reach to capture casual and emerging anime audiences. Alternatively, specialist platforms like Crunchyroll may expand into broader genres or partner with other services to attract a wider demographic. This is an interesting point here, right? Because you've seen certain press releases where High Dive and Crunchyroll have been referring to each other like more in like partner language than competitor language, which I found interesting, right? And this is something you kind of saw, like for example, with a series like Oshinoko going from being High Dive exclusive to being on High Dive and Crunchyroll. And I don't know, like High Dive not seeming all that broke up about it. when you're looking at it, you're like, that's kind of interesting, right? But regional leaders such as Bilibili, benefiting from such surging domestic demand and cultural tailoring, may also explore international expansion to challenge established global players. Look, man, and this was another article here, kind of just talking about series that they've been taking, so on and so forth. Boom. And specifically, though, what I wanted to talk about with this article was Crunchyroll's position after the Funimation merger. Because obviously for us as anime fans in the West, the Crunchyroll Funimation merger was huge because it went from being two major players in Western anime in that market to essentially just being one now, right? Which, for better or for worse, right? Because it was all under that Sony umbrella. And for me, man, like I've said earlier, like I'm a firm believer in us needing to have multiple options when it comes to legal anime streaming in the West. Because what ends up happening, bro, is that when you have one company that dominates essentially all anime offerings in the Western space, you're at the mercy, I should say, of any agendas, any whatever program it is that they're trying to run. And Sony, when you look at them more from an anime game perspective, has kind of been censorship heavy when it came to anime, like not so much with like anime itself, but anime games and shit. Like they've had some worrying tendencies, so that wasn't something that I was literally too happy to see. But yeah, so in April 2024, the merger integrated Funimation's English dub catalog and exclusive titles into Crunchyroll, combining its simulcast speed with a deep dubbed library. So this consolidation meant that many fans can find both subtitled and dubbed versions of major series such as Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece in one place. As a result, Crunchyroll became a central hub for seasonal and archival anime, though newer market data shows intensified competition from platforms like Netflix. Look, so Collider's preview of late 2026 and beyond highlights adaptations such as Sparks of Tomorrow from Kyoto Animation, the adult romance behind the supermarket Smoking with You, Science Star's remake of Ghost in the Shell, blah, blah, blah. So the reception from platform availability of these titles could influence viewing patterns, as exclusive rights to anticipated series often affect where dedicated fans choose to subscribe. So this, to me, once again ties back into the fact that the Netflix remake, the One Piece remake, is going to be Netflix exclusive. That's fucking huge because I believe that as more seasons of the One Piece remake drops, that WIT Studio remake is going to become essentially the definitive way to watch One Piece. I'm telling you right now, because it's going to be free of all the filler with updated animation done by WIT, who we all know does god tier animation. Like, bro, this is going to be a big motherfucking deal, bro. Like, I'm telling you right now. So as we're jumping here, like I said, we're gonna power through this right here because it's just been super interesting. Because like I said, I feel that Netflix has a larger plan, right? A plan that we're starting to see them execute. And you've already seen them get certain titles, like for example, Sakamoto Days is already on there. And this article here kind of touches on that a bit, but it's like, boom, Netflix stole two of Crunchyroll's biggest anime and both are absolute peak, right? So what I found interesting is that before, for example, you can find Frieren on Netflix and Crunchyroll, right? But there are certain series that you'll find on Netflix that you won't find on Crunchyroll. Now, that was always the case with Crunchyroll, there were series that you could find on Crunchyroll that you won't find on Netflix. But I found that more interesting when it was happening in the reverse. Because let's be honest, we all know that Netflix has the bankroll necessary to secure these sort of exclusive streaming rights, but they hadn't really flexed it. You had seen it some. For example, Moonrise was a Netflix exclusive. I believe, in Sakamoto Days, I think you can only find on Netflix. I'll verify that in a second. Ranma 1/2, the remake is only on Netflix, so on and so forth. But once again, One Piece, the biggest anime IP on the fucking planet, is going to be a Netflix exclusive. The remake that everybody's gonna be fucking watching. Like when that shit drops next year, it's gonna fucking break the internet, bro. And we're gonna get deeper into it, get some more details about it. But let's check this out. Let's see what this nice gentleman here had to say. So he says, the ongoing streaming wars have taken yet another major shift. Although Crunchyroll has long been recognized as the definitive home for dedicated anime streaming, that reality is about to change with its biggest rival continuously coming into play. Over the past few years, Netflix has steadily expanded its anime catalog to the point where it has actually surpassed its orange competitor, like we talked about. They have become the largest global anime streaming platform, surpassing Crunchyroll. Big deal. Now, after successfully dethroning Crunchyroll as the biggest anime streaming platform in overall viewership, Netflix continues to bring highly anticipated hits straight to its platform. By securing rights for hit shonen series and popular new releases, the streaming platform clearly proves that audiences no longer need a dedicated anime app to stay current. Which is true and not true, right? Because there's going to be series as of right now that you can only get on a Crunchyroll or on the high seas, right? Netflix doesn't have everything, but they're starting to get some bigger pieces. And we can see what I'm interested in thinking, or what I'm thinking about as I'm playing the scenario in my head, is what ends up happening. Do we have a deal where now studios are negotiating like dual rights, right? Where Netflix is gonna, like, if it's on Crunchyroll, it's on Netflix, right? Or is it gonna be one of them things where it's like with One Piece and Ranma 1/2 and a few of these other ones where it's only on Netflix? Because either way, in either scenario, and here's what's funny, either scenario, Netflix fucking wins, bro. Because like we said earlier, Netflix already has a paid subscriber base of like 300 million subscribers. Most people, I think, who have Crunchyroll probably will have Netflix in the house as well. So it becomes one of them things. It's like, what do I need Crunchyroll for if I can get the same anime that's on Crunchyroll I can find on Netflix every time? That would almost be a death blow to fucking to Crunchyroll. Because you think about it, because Crunchyroll is like what now? It's like $13, $15 for a mega fan, like $9.99 for shit like that for the regular fans, so on and so forth. Whereas Netflix is like $20 a month if you don't want ads. So I was like, all right, cool. I can pay, let's say $9.99 or whatever for Crunchyroll and $20 for Netflix, or I can just pay $20 for Netflix and have both. Oh, interesting, right? Interesting. Well, so the anime library on Netflix is receiving a major upgrade on June 1st, 2026, as Shangri-La Frontier Season 2, Assassination Classroom Season 2, and My Hero Academia Season 6 finally hit the platform. These titles had been largely limited to Asian markets in the past, making this upcoming international rollout feel like a significant turning point for the industry. Like this right here, though, that he's saying here, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, have been limited to Asian markets. Assassination Classroom has been on fucking Crunchyroll. My Hero Academia has been on Crunchyroll. And Shangri-La Frontier has been on Crunchyroll. And I don't think they're going to be exclusive to Netflix, though. So hold on. So it says Season 2. So, for example, let's look at Shangri-La Frontier Season 2. Is Shangri-La Frontier Season 2 Netflix exclusive? Let's see. Oh. So these are going to be Netflix exclusive. Damn. So, okay. So Assassination Classroom Season 2 and Shangri-La Frontier Season 2 are going to be Netflix exclusive. There's no way. Is My Hero Academia Season 6? Hold on. Is My Hero Academia Season 6 Netflix exclusive? Let's see. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let's see. So it's already on Netflix. Okay, cool. So I don't think it's gonna be. So My Hero Academia is not gonna be Netflix exclusive, but it's gonna be available on there, which is a big deal, right? But the fact that Shangri-La Frontier Season 2 and Assassination Class, those aren't small series, especially Assassination Classroom. Like, they're not like the biggest of the biggest hits, but they're pretty noticeable series, fool. And the fact that they're fucking going to be Netflix exclusive. So now, look, we have some big name series. 'Cause I believe, and now while we're at it, Sakamoto Days is Netflix exclusive. Is Sakamoto Days. Yes, okay. So Sakamoto Days is a Netflix exclusive. So now Ranma 1/2 is also Netflix exclusive. The One Piece remake is going to be Netflix exclusive. Shangri-La Frontier Season 2 is going to be Netflix exclusive. And Assassination Classroom is going to be Netflix exclusive. Bro, that's some major, major series. And when you look at what we're going to get a little bit further in the stream, talking about how they're partnering with MAPPA and these other studios, Netflix is making some power plays for some big series, bro. Let's continue. Boom. So he continues on. The recent growth at Netflix goes far beyond just adding more shows. The streaming company is choosing its new titles very carefully. Shangri-La Frontier Season 2 continues the wild gaming journey, following Sunraku on his desperate search for a hidden workshop after toppling unbeatable monsters. Meanwhile, Assassination Classroom Season 2 brings plenty of emotion to the table as Class 3E faces a tense race against their graduation date to finally defeat Kodo Sensei. Additionally, the inclusion of My Hero Academia Season 6 brings the epic Paranormal Liberation War directly to the platform, firmly establishing that Netflix is becoming a top destination for major shonen series. Let's be honest, and when it comes to the demographic genres, right, shonen is usually going to be the one that brings in the most casual viewers, right? It's going to be action packed. It's going to have very approachable storylines and whatnot. And it's going to have those emotional beats that really will attract the casuals and get them watching, get them checking things out. So the fact that this is they seem to clearly have a big focus on like those shonen style series that are going to be eye catching, right? They're gonna really bring people in. So yeah, man. Okay, cool. So Netflix has been constantly. Hold on. The fuck? Said I ran ads on. That's crazy. Anyway, so Netflix has been constantly expanding its massive library in 2026 with huge hits in the United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, Latin America, and South Africa. Throughout the year, the streaming platform is adding incredible series like Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. Oh, okay. So Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 is coming, Blue Lock, My Dress Up Darling. But yeah, I did know that My Dress Up Darling is on that page. Okay. By connecting its global libraries, the streaming platform is building one perfect destination for anime. This huge overall upgrade makes it extremely difficult to justify. But yes, like I was saying earlier, if it gets to the point where Netflix has all of the major series through the negotiation that they've done, because you got to be honest, like, when it comes to the licensing, if the Japanese studios are open to that kind of multi-licensing, especially if Netflix is willing to pay whatever that fee may be, you gotta imagine that if it becomes kind of a no-brainer at a certain point. Because what is Crunchyroll gonna say? Like, oh, if we license you, don't license to Netflix, but the studio could just be like, what the fuck? Okay, we'll just license to Netflix then. And then what does that do to Crunchyroll? Is Crunchyroll going to just not have the series when they could? If the option that Crunchyroll has is it's on our platform and on Netflix, or it's not on our platform, they would obviously go for fucking both, right? But then as us, the consumer, it becomes, well, shit, if fucking Netflix has the same shit that you guys have, I'm just going to fucking pay for Netflix and get access to the rest of their fucking category, access to the rest of their catalog, right? So he continues, upcoming projects like the One Piece remake ensure Netflix's total dominance. By staying highly accessible and focusing on trending hits, Netflix is officially winning the anime streaming war. According to recent Anime by the Numbers report, nearly half of global viewers now prefer Netflix as their primary platform to watch anime. In the US alone, the platform captures over 63% of the target audience. This is actually an interesting point because I'm not going to hold you, bro. So, my last time going to Japan, obviously, like when you're on the plane, you don't have a lot of access to Wi-Fi, things that are sort of the Wi-Fi be super dusty. So what I always will try to do is I'll try to download to my phone or whatever, so I can offline view like episodes of a gang of series. So for example, like I downloaded a gang of Freerun episodes. I downloaded what else? It was like some Freeruns. It was like some Ghost in the Shell, some Black Lagoon. No, was it Black? No, not Black Lagoon. There's a few other ones. And I was like, all right, cool. Now, initially I'd been going to do that on Crunchyroll, but I don't think I paid for a high enough subscription tier for like offline viewing. What the fuck, right? Whereas with Netflix, I was just able to do it. Really, it's really easy. It's there. It's easy. Good to go. Boom. So in that instance, if it was available on both, I had already defaulted to the Netflix. And so for how many people will it end up being something like that, where it's a simple decision like, hey, I want to watch something offline, and Crunchyroll makes it more difficult, or they want you to pay for a more expensive tier, and you find that the UI with Netflix is better, the ease of access with Netflix is better, so on and so forth. All of a sudden, bro, you're like, well, shit. Now you're more actively diving into Netflix's catalog. And if you find they have show after show after show after show that you fuck with, then how many experiences like that does it take for you to just be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to watch all of my anime on fucking Netflix. You feel me, bro? You feel me? Which is why, boom, it makes sense like what they're saying. If they get to the point where they're having all of the major hits, now they might not have every Tom, Dick, and Sally show that Crunchyroll might have, you know, your super like second and third level, like you got to be a real anime nerd like us to really be watching. But if they have all the big major ones, all the ones that are trending on Twitter and social media and TikTok and shit, if you can find all of those on Netflix as well, how long does it take for people to start defaulting to the Netflix period, right? Think about it. And he continues, the finances involved are just as staggering, as Netflix brings in an estimated $2 billion from anime alone, nearly doubling the overall revenue of Crunchyroll. Even though Crunchyroll undeniably has a larger number of titles overall, Netflix curates its library very carefully. Yes, they want the hits. They want the big ones. Imagine a Solo Leveling now being available on Netflix. Hold on. Is Solo Leveling available on Netflix? Hold on. Let me double check. Because I don't. Is Solo Leveling? Yeah. So right now, Solo Leveling is available on Netflix, but not in Western markets. So what happens if a Solo Leveling becomes available in the States? Motherfucker. Look, bro. It only takes a few. It only takes a few of those dominoes to fall before things change on a fundamental level. Kind of like, you know how you'll hear phrases like people say like YouTube wants to become the everything app. Netflix will become the everything streaming app. Right now, Netflix is known. It has a decent anime catalog. We've all kind of known that. You know what I'm saying? And you can find some simulcasts, like, for example, like there's some series that are available on Crunchyroll and Netflix, so on and so forth. But when it gets to the point where you can find damn near all the major hits that you would find on a Crunchyroll or a High Dive, you can find on Netflix, it's going to be one of those things. People will just pay for Netflix, 100%. So, look, by focusing exclusively on high-budget originals and famous hits, the platform stays firmly at the center of the entertainment conversation. This industry shift proves that the traditional gap between hardcore and casual fans is finally starting to disappear. Countless viewers are growing tired of standard Hollywood storylines and want the unique, engaging stories found in Japanese animation instead. Yes, look, and it's one of the things. It's not even standard Hollywood storylines that people are tired of. People are tired. These are the storylines that Hollywood forgot about. Hollywood has forgotten about traditional romance or traditional heroes' journeys, traditional good versus evil stories. Everything in Hollywood is about deconstruction. It's about nihilism. It's about fucking just shit. A lot of times can have you feeling very negative. Where in anime, yes, you can find stories like that, but your baseline stories are still, how do you say it, embodying those traditional kind of values, right? Of heroicism and selfless acts, bro. The hero's journey, romance, relationships, you know, positive. Just stories that make you feel hopeful. Like, I don't know if you guys are like, for example, if you guys are not watching Historia Want a Shield, like, bro, watching fucking Will go toe-to-toe with the big bad this past episode, the one before this week's episode, bro, I was literally like, goosebumps, fool. Watching people cheer for him. I felt like I was watching Naruto and shooting exams again. Yo, bro, this shit was fucking crazy. And like, I'm thinking to myself as I'm watching this, I'm literally having goosebumps. And I'm literally cheering for Will. I'm like, yeah, fool, go ahead, bro. You finally you that nigga, you getting the recognition that you deserve. People really fucking with you the way you deserve. And seeing his girl drop a sword from heaven for him. Drop a sword from the tower for him. Like, yo, that's his bitch. She loves him. She's like, yo, I'm not gonna watch him get killed. Like, bro, you're watching this, bro. And I'm getting goosebumps. And I'm like, bro, when's the last time anything that came out of the West made me feel that way? I couldn't tell you, bro. I couldn't tell you. Like, what's the biggest show coming out of the West right now? Invincible. And I'll be honest with you, bro. Invincible is cool. I like the comics. I could give two fucks about the show, bro. Like, I'm just keeping it a buck. To me, it's one of them things I don't care for how it looks. I feel like for a show that has the sort of budget that it does, it should look better, bro. And it just bugs me. And I've made this comment on Twitter multiple times. I'm like, bro, look at Justice League Unlimited, or Batman Beyond, shows that are over 20 years old. They look better than Invincible with the massive and insane budget that Invincible does. Invincible has a budget of what? Like something like $10 or $12 million per episode. If you put it in 2026 money, like Justice League and Justice League Unlimited had a budget of maybe like $3 million per episode. What the fuck are we doing? Like that, man, like it just frustrates me. But even then, that's the best that we've got right now, animation-wise. It's not really fucking with anything coming out of Japan. Let's just be real. I don't get those goosebumps when I'm watching most Western shows. I felt that way, like, kind of watching, like, Across the Spider-Verse. The Spider-Verse movies do it. Those are good. That's it, bro. Other than that, I gotta watch the old shit. I gotta watch Teen Titans. I gotta watch the Justice League. I gotta watch a Batman. Some old X-Men. It's all older stuff. Nothing current day coming out of the West is really fucking with anything coming out of the East when it comes to storytelling, bro. This is just a fact. But let's continue. So, Netflix has expertly capitalized on this growing demand by offering high-quality dubs. I feel like we haven't heard as many complaints with Netflix dub scripts as we do with Crunchyroll scripts. That might end up being a play as well. And making new anime easy to discover. I definitely say that Netflix has an algorithmic advantage, definitely, when it comes to anime, right? So, for example, you'll watch Crunchyroll for the simulcast. The latest shit is gonna be on Crunchyroll, whether you're on like a live stream on ME or whatever. You're like, okay, what's dropping? You're gonna know they're gonna have the top simulcast, so on and so forth. I feel like Netflix's anime algorithm is probably slightly better though, because their algorithm overall is better. So if you're looking for more of a curated experience, as they look to serve you up content based on the content that you've already engaged with, once anime becomes a heavier part of that algorithm, they're going to do a good job of getting things in front of you that you might be interested, even as a casual, right? So maybe you're a casual fool. You might have watched one or two anime series on the Netflix platform. Now you're like, oh shit, that algorithm is now actively working as they add more stuff into it, right? More options for them to serve up. Now I was like, oh shit, this is something for me in here now. Let's check this out. So on and so forth. Big deal, right? Go. So the promising slate includes the upcoming One Piece remake as well as Sakamoto Days. The main goal is to change how the world consumes anime. For the average viewer, having a top-tier anime library included within a standard subscription is simply the best deal on the market, like I fucking said, bro. If you can get Netflix's existing library with all the hottest anime, why would you not just pay for Netflix? You dig? Interesting points, man. So now, like we were talking about, let's talk about subscriber numbers, right? And why this is a big deal. So, if we look here, Netflix has over 325 million subscribers worldwide as of the end of 2025. And these are, once again, paid subscribers, right? So, Crunchyroll just passed, I believe, 21 million, like we talked about. So, Netflix, 325 million. Crunchyroll, if this tweet will refresh, boom, let's see. Crunchyroll has officially surpassed 21 million paid subscribers. So we've got 325 million paid subscribers for Netflix, and then we've got 21 million paid subscribers for Crunchyroll. And then if we go for High Dive High Dive, it says, has significantly fewer than 1 million, with some user reports suggesting a figure closer to 837,000. So the difference between this less than a million number for High Dive, this 21 million number for Crunchyroll, and the 325 million number for Netflix is the specificity, right? So Netflix has over 325 million paid subscribers, but the majority of those aren't there just for anime. Whereas Crunchyroll's 21 million paid subscribers are there just for anime. High Dives will say 1 million subscribers are there just for anime. So that's the difference, right? So here's the thing though. Like I said earlier, while you may have 325 million who are there for a little bit of everything, right? They're there for a little bit of everything. That's 325 million people that can be exposed to more anime. 325 million people who are likely to check something out as what? As Netflix's algorithm begins to serve them up more content. And let's just keep it a bug. Look, if you have 325 million subscribers, and let's say you convert 10%, 10%, right? So let's do some math. Let's pull up a calculator here. If we're able to convert 10% of that 325 million, so 325, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? Times 0.1. Did I do this right? 300. Yes. All right, cool. So look, if you convert 10% of that 325 million subscribers into new or even just casual anime fans, that ups your anime dedicated people who are on the platform now for anime to 32 million. You're already beating Netflix. You're already smacking them. Just converting 10% of your subscriber base. If 10% of the Netflix subscriber base becomes casual anime fans, you're already curb stomping the anime dedicated platforms. There is a real financial incentive for them to do this, right? Because now, if you're Netflix, you are further justifying your subscription price. Because let's be honest, as Netflix has continued to up their subscription prices year over year, people have not been happy about it. I let my shit lapse. I ain't gonna hold you. I was like, bro, I don't watch enough of these Netflix shows to be justifying paying these niggas $20, bro. Like, I was like, nigga, I'll come back if there's something I feel like watching this shit. I already don't watch the anime on there that I wanted to watch, so on and so forth. Or like I said, when I'm getting ready to take a flight, if I need to download some offline viewing, boom, I'll put it back on. But now if it becomes one of them things where I'm like, yo, I can catch all my major anime on there, now the price becomes more justifiable, right? Interesting. This leads us into the fact that, look, like we're talking about, Netflix is making some major moves. And what moves are we talking about? We're talking about the upcoming partnerships that they have with major studios, specifically two, right? Their partnership with MAPPA and their partnership with WIT. Now, the partnership with WIT is specifically for the One Piece remake, but that's worth 10 other anime series. Because why? One Piece is the biggest anime IP on the goddamn planet, bro. It is the biggest IP on the planet. And the fact that Netflix, and we're going to get to this later, but the fact that Netflix is going to be the only place that you can watch it. A remake done by MAPPA. Incredible. But let's talk here. Not done by MAPPA, done by WIT. But once again, for those of you who need a quick reminder, like we're saying here, MAPPA is responsible for Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh my God, motherfucking Campfire Cooking in Another World. Let's just pull up MAPPA real quick. So let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's just get their resume again real quick. That's a quick fucking reminder. Let's just get their fucking the discography, their filmography, whatever the fuck we want to call it. So we can just understand. Okay? What they're responsible for. Boom, and this is going back. They got some bangers. Boom. Once again, MAPPA of Madhouse. They're of Madhouse lineage, which is why their shit is so lit. But yeah, we have Garo, right? Boom. What else? Kakaguri. That's a fire ass one. Dororo. underrated killer series. If you haven't watched Aurora, check that shit out. That shit'll hurt your heart though. That shit'll hurt you. Oh, to the Abandoned Sacred Beast, another one that was fire. That was fire. Doro Hidoro, which is killing them. That's actually fucking debuting. It's out this season right now. Amazing. Attack on Titan. Jujutsu Kaisen. The God of High School. However you feel about the series story, it looked good. The story was ass, but it looked good at least, right? Boom. The Ida Tandir Deities, another one. Very underrated. Super slept on. Chainsaw Man. Vinland Saga. Campfire Cooking in Another World. Hell's Paradise. Ranma 1/2. Lazarus. Hey. Didn't do the rest, but it's still Shinichiro Watanabe. Say what you want. Ranma 1/2. Look, fool. And then it's not even talking about all of the fucking films, bro. You don't need me to tell you. MAPPA is a motherfucking hitter of a studio, bro. They are an S-tier studio. They are the biggest, they're the big dog among big dogs. When you're thinking of major killer studios, you think MAPPA, you think WIT, you think Madhouse, you think Ufotable, you feel me? And a few other ones, right? Look, dog. So the fact that they are partnering, Netflix is partnering with MAPPA, bro, because now you have to ask yourself a few other questions. So are the series that they partner with MAPPA on, are they going to be Netflix exclusive? What does partnership mean exactly? Right? It makes you think like, all right, cool. Things might be switching up here, bro. So let's dive into this arc a little bit. And then we got a couple of them ones here and then we'll continue keep on going. So, and once again, yo, happy Saturday to everybody's here watching. A quick reminder, if you haven't already, do me a favor. Like the stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like I said, this is the home for anime talk, baby. Mushu Tensei primarily, but we stream every Friday and like Saturday. We get together and we talk our shit. So like the stream, subscribe to the channel. We got so much dope content coming. Happy to have you guys here. But yeah, let's continue. So the Tokyo-based studio behind Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen will develop multiple new projects with Netflix under a newly expanded strategic alliance. So the stunning box office success of Chainsaw Man, the movie, the Reze arc, which was fire, bro. And look, Chainsaw Man. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that right now, bro. I'm not going to rant about fucking Chainsaw Man, bro. The Chainsaw Man movie was fire. Obviously, the Reze arc is part of the public safety arc, which is where after that arc, I stopped watching Chainsaw Man. That motherfucker lost his mind after that arc. But the first 11 volumes of Chainsaw Man, fire. I'll watch the adaptation of those first 11 volumes, but after that motherfucker lost his mind, bro. I don't know what Fujimoto, hey man, I don't know what the fuck. Anyway, so the anime feature about a man who coexists with a demonic spirit, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so it's talking about what the film earned, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, well, and lo and behold, last week, Netflix quietly revealed a new strategic alliance with MAPPA, the Tokyo-based anime studio behind the feature, as well as many global anime fans' other favorite titles. On Tuesday, Netflix's Kata Sakamoto, head of content for the streamer in Japan, shared a few comments on the shape of the partnership, the shape the partnership will take during a content presentation in Tokyo. Building on the strong relationships we've cultivated with Japan's leading creators and studios, we are evolving these partnerships into a deeper, more collaborative creative ventures, Sakamoto said. Our recently announced partnership with MAPPA reflects this direction. Multiple projects are already underway, spanning story development through merchandise as we work together to create worlds that fans can engage with beyond the screen. Netflix framed the partnership as a natural next step for anime on the platform, where the genre has become a core driver of engagement. More than half of Netflix's members now watch anime. So remember what we talked about earlier, that number that we saw, 325 million paid subscribers. So this article, so according to the Hollywood Reporter, which is not an unknown publication, right? More than half of Netflix members now watch anime. So 325 million, we can assume at least 160 million people, it's saying at least 160 paid people are watching anime. Now, we can debate about what it means when they say now watch anime. Does that mean have watched anime at some point? Or are dedicated anime viewers, right? There's room for discussion there. But either way, studios have to look at that number right? If you're a Japanese studio and you're like, all right, cool, well, where's the best place for us to license our shit to? You have Crunchyroll, right? Which is the tried and true. It's the merger of Funimation, all under the Sony umbrella, 21 million subscribers. Or we license to Netflix, who has 325 million paid subscribers, and according to some reports, more than half of that are 325 million, so 160 million, at least, right, are watching anime. Who would you fucking pick, bro? So are you now not saying, either we're looking at dual licensing, where, hey, look, we're not looking to be exclusive on Crunchyroll anymore, we want to be on both? Or do you roll the dice and say, hey, look, let's just license it to Netflix and see what Netflix is, especially if Netflix makes the guarantees like, yo, we are dedicated to pushing the fuck out of anime on our platform now. We are dedicated to really making Netflix the one-stop shop for anime. It'll be front page. It'll everything that you would need. Yo, fool, we're gonna get people watching this shit, bro. Fuck with us. If they can get those insurances and enough upfront bread, just in case the shit maybe doesn't pan, doesn't get the streaming numbers that they need. Come on, bro. What are we talking about? Why wouldn't they? Think about it. It makes too much sense. It makes too much sense. So, continuing. More than half of Netflix members now watch anime, the company said, and overall anime viewership on the service has tripled over the past 5 years. MAPPA president and CEO Manobu Otsuka, speaking when the partnership was first unveiled on January 21st, emphasized the importance of independence and end-to-end control for Japanese animation houses as they court global audiences, a message that seemed crafted to reassure fans the company will retain its independent creative spirit under the Netflix now. Pretty much they're saying, hey, look, we said, Netflix, we want to fuck with you, but if you're gonna try to fucking little nigga ass, if you're gonna try to treat us like you Papa and start trying to swing dick and tell us what we can and can't do, it's not gonna work. And Netflix is saying, no, we're not gonna fucking do that. We just want your shit on our platform. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Well then, baby, talk to me nice, baby. Mommy, talk to me nice. Talk to Papa nice. That's what I like to hear. So you're saying, hold on, fool. You're gonna give us a bag just to put our shit on your platform, fool? You're going to give us access to 325 million subscribers, of which some people are saying already half of which are already watching anime. So 120-something million people, potential audience. That's 120-something million people who may end up buying merch, who might end up checking out the manga, who might buy a Blu-ray, maybe, even though, stream or whatever, but they might buy. That's 300 potential million paying customers for our IP. Is that what you're saying, baby? Is that how you're talking dirty to me right now? Talk dirty to me, baby. Talk fucking dirty to me. Look, this is a big deal. Sources close to the deal also tell The Hollywood Reporter that MAPPA's pact with Netflix will work outside of the production committee system that usually governs Japan's anime industry, whereby multiple companies, studios, publishers, TV stations, advertisers, and toy makers typically pool funds to produce a series or film to diffuse risk. In theory, the new deal will give MAPPA greater creative control over the destiny of its titles, but also greater voice for Netflix. So what that means is this. Siri, stop listening to me. But anyway, so what will typically happen is when they say the production committee, creating an anime series is obviously expensive. It's not fucking invincible expensive, but it's expensive, right? So what they'll do when you hear committee system, production committee, and so you notice here it says studios, publishers, TV stations, advertisers, and toy makers. So all these different sorts of entities will spread out the cost of the anime, and they'll all have a piece of the licensing, right? So the studio will own a piece, the toy manufacturers will own a piece, the TV stations might own a piece, and advertisers might own a piece, because they have all diffused the cost of the production. That's how it works. However, Netflix is so big that they confront the cost. They don't need to spread it out. So now they're not having to get a yes from this committee who, okay, the toy makers got to be like, yeah, this will make us money. The advertisers, yeah, this will make us money. The TV stations, yeah, this will make us money. It's all just Netflix who has the big fucking bag. So now Netflix is looking to a MAPPA to be like, hey, We just trust your guys' judgment. If you tell us that this series is going to hit, we'll fund it. So MAPPA is like, all right, cool. We don't have to get an okay from 5 to 10 or however many's on this committee's different entities to greenlight a series now. With through our strategic partnership with Netflix, who trusts our curation, we say, hey, look, this is the next one. Netflix says, all right, cool, bet, run it up. How much? You feel me? Why would that not make for an ideal partner? And if that's the case, why would you not bring these series exclusively to Netflix? That's what I'm really interested in seeing. That's the question that we really have to be asking. Through this deal, will series greenlit under this agreement, under this partnership, be exclusive to Netflix? That's what I'm wondering. That's the $1 million question. Because wouldn't that be funny, though, if Netflix allows them to double dip, right? If they can license to Crunchyroll as well as Netflix. Like I said earlier, either way, Netflix wins, bro. Because you're going to eventually have those people who are like, these series are consistently on both. Why don't I just have Netflix? Because when it comes to UI, when it comes to everything, Netflix is the superior fucking platform. It looks better. It functions better. And let's be honest, it's not hated the way Crunchyroll is hated. People hate Crunchyroll, bro. Everybody has a negative Crunchyroll story, myself included. So if you get to the point where you could kind of like choose not to fuck with them anymore, and your other option isn't sailing the high seas, well, bro. So you're telling me that I could just fuck with Netflix, which is a superior platform as far as overall look, algorithm, issues, so on and so forth. Like, have there been any major fucking? I don't have to worry about my data getting leaked all the time. Netflix data leak. So there's been like one major leak. It's the only one I'm seeing. Crunchyroll's had multiple. You feel me? So you tell me I don't have to deal with that, and I could just, come on, bro. Like, it'll become a no-brainer for a lot of people, bro. So, so let's continue on. We have worked with Netflix on various projects in the past, but this expanded partnership is based on MAPPA's core belief in being an independent studio, both creatively and in business, Otsuka said. Japanese animation studios must proactively lead every stage, from understanding global audience needs and developing projects to reaching viewers and expanding related businesses. MAPPA is committed to deepening our collaboration with Netflix, aiming for a long-term win-win partnership. So for MAPPA, we don't have to answer to multiple masters anymore, because Netflix is here saying, look, we want to be the one-stop shop for anime. Bring us the hits. We'll sign the checks, and you guys can do whatever the fuck you want. And MAPPA's saying, you're goddamn right. That sounds good to me, fucking partner. That sounds good to me, partner. You're not going to fuck with our shit? Netflix saying, nah, y'all do what y'all want. We're not going to tell you what to do or how to do it. Just make sure it hits. That's all we need from you to do, and you can lead the charge. Okay, bet. That is the definition of a win-win partnership. Make no mistake about it, my nigga. Make no mistake about it. If this works, and you think that these other studios aren't looking at this and saying, let's see how that works. Let's see if that hits. You think other studios aren't paying attention? You think WIT is obviously already paying attention. You think other major production houses aren't paying attention to this? And aren't taking notes and saying, we're going to see how this goes, bro. And if it works, we're going to be making our own phone calls. You think they're not doing that, bro? This has the potential to change everything. And if it works out the way that I think it might end up working out, motherfucker, it's going to change everything. Let's continue. Those past collaborations have included bringing distinctive MAPPA productions such as Rama 1/2 and Kakegurui Twin to Netflix's global audience. These are both Netflix exclusives. With multiple new anime efforts already in planning and production, the partners suggested the goal is not only to scale original Japanese anime worldwide, but also to push into new creative territory as the medium's reach continues its seemingly relentless expansion. Anime is mainstream, and it's not fucking going anywhere, bro. It's only going to grow and grow and grow. This is a fact. This is a fact. So I actually had the actual Netflix brief as well that this article is kind of pulling from. So boom, let's go ahead and read the actual brief from the Netflix site. Boom. And we'll go ahead and blow this up and make it a little bit easier for us to read. One sec. So what was the official Netflix brief coming from both them and Nobu Otsuka from MAPPA and Kata Sakamoto from Netflix? All right. This is back from in January of this year. Netflix has announced a strategic partnership with MAPPA Co., the acclaimed studio behind hits such as Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen. Boom. Once again, through this collaboration, the two companies will work together on new projects with a global perspective from story development to merchandise. And Netflix will exclusively, wow, so it is exclusive. Netflix will exclusively stream a slate of original MAPPA-produced anime titles to members worldwide. Wow, bro. Hey. So, we just answered the question. So, through this partnership, these MAPPA titles are going to be Netflix exclusive. That's a big deal, bro. That's a big fucking deal, bro. That's a big fucking deal, bro. Okay. MAPPA has continually pushed the boundaries of traditional anime production, valuing creators' freedom and passion while innovating both creatively and strategically. For example, Chainsaw Man, MAPPA. With Chainsaw Man, MAPPA took a studio-driven approach to IP development and merchandising, while with Jujutsu Kaisen, the studio helped fuel the global rise of Japanese anime by achieving worldwide success. Anime is central to our members' viewing experience. Today, more than half of Netflix members enjoy anime on the service. Okay, so that's actually coming directly from Netflix. So according to Netflix, more than half of Netflix members enjoy anime on the service. Okay, so look, once again, that's a bit of a vague term, right? Saying more than half of members enjoy anime. That could be like, all right, cool. You might have watched one episode of one show at one point, and they might consider that you enjoying anime on the service, right? But for them, if you've watched one, what's to stop you from watching two or three or four or an entire series? If they can find something that you like, if they can use their algorithm coupled with increased offerings to find something that you're more likely to stay with, especially with the binge model that Netflix purports. Now, that's another thing in and of itself, right? Part of the anime experience is that week-to-week viewing, right? Bro, did you catch the latest episode? Oh, bro, that shit was crazy. I can't wait for next week's episode. Or people were like, man, fuck that. I'm about to let like 3 or 4 episodes build up, and then I'm going to watch. What does that do to the discussion, right, of anime? If you're binging an entire season, or do they stick to their traditional slate release, the traditional weekly releases? Do the studios demand weekly releases? That's already not the case with the One Piece remake, right? All 7 episodes of the One Piece remake will be available at once. But is that going to be something that you're just doing occasionally? Or is it going to be on a series-to-series basis? Who knows, right? Who knows? But let's continue. Today, more than half of Netflix members enjoy anime on the service, and anime viewership has tripled over the past 5 years. With this partnership, MAPPA's new anime titles will premiere exclusively and simultaneously worldwide on Netflix, allowing fans everywhere to experience these stories together. Manobu Otsuka, president and CEO of MAPPA, says, "We have worked with Netflix on various projects in the past, but this expanded partnership is based on MAPPA's core belief in being an independent studio, both creatively and in business." So what he's saying is, we're getting sick of the fucking production companies telling us what we can and can't make. We want to be able to curate the process from beginning to end. There's MAPPA is saying that we're the hit makers, right? And we want all the rights. Because mind you, with the production committee, they are splitting the costs of the production of the anime so that they all have a bit of that ownership, right? Whereas this, it's going to be MAPPA and Netflix. So either not MAPPA is getting a much bigger piece of the pie, or they're making it and Netflix is just licensing it, right? Because I don't believe Crunchyroll, like for example, some shit gets licensed to Crunchyroll, I don't think they own any of that. So if through this agreement, Netflix gets exclusive streaming rights, but MAPPA retains core control of the majority of the IP. Now we're talking dirty. Now I'm talking dirty, baby. Both creatively and in business. Japanese animation studios must proactively lead every stage, from understanding global audience needs and developing projects to reaching viewers and expanding related businesses. MAPPA is committed to deepening our collaboration with Netflix, aiming for a long-term win-win partnership. Now, once again, Kata Sakamoto, Vice President of Content in Japan at Netflix, adds, MAPPA is a remarkable studio that has continuously taken on bold challenges and achieved unprecedented forms of expression. At Netflix, we also value the passion and dedication of creators. By combining MAPPA's unique approach to anime production with Netflix's global reach and the courage to take risks, which is essential to creating compelling content, we hope to further expand the possibilities of anime. We are fully committed to delivering new works and excitement to fans around the world. So what does that say right there? What are they saying right there? There have probably been series that MAPPA's like, yo, this would be a hit. We'd love to develop this. There's this mangaka, their shit isn't serialized here. We think this will hit. But they can't get a green light. They can't get it past the production committee. Or the production committee is like, yeah, we'll get to that eventually, but we have these however many series that are more in line with what we think is going to make money, and we need you to do those first. Because please believe, right now, MAPPA doesn't get to pick what they adapt. The production committee says, this is the next one on the slate, go and adapt that. Boom. Whereas now, MAPPA is the tastemaker. They say, we want to adapt this one, Netflix, we think this is going to hit. Netflix gets the check, and they get the fucking rolling. Really upturning the whole system on its head, fool. Big motherfucking deal, fool. Big boss shit. Now they're in full or as close to full control as you can expect to get, right? And once again, all Netflix is saying is we just need it to hit. And with the level of quality that MAPPA is known for, if they're picking the right shit, they're going to hit way more often than they don't, fool. And you know what they say? One real hit will pay for a few ones that didn't. You feel me? All you need is one or two to hit. You can pay for 3-4 more that didn't. Come on, bro. Netflix has already brought distinctive MAPPA productions such as One and a Half, like we talked about, Kakaguri, to global audiences. Under this expanded partnership, multiple new anime projects are now planning and in production. Together with MAPPA, Netflix aims to bring more original anime from Japan to the world, broaden opportunities for creative collaboration, and pioneer new frontiers in anime expression. And like we said, we've confirmed that through this partnership, these series that MAPPA greenlights through Netflix will be Netflix exclusives. They're not going to be available anywhere else legally in the West. Oh, shit. That's a power move, baby. That's a power move, bro. Netflix is up to something. They're making a play right now, fool. They're making a fucking play. And so this article here just further sums it up even more. You know, talk about that same shit. Look, they're going to get, the biggest line for this for me is that Netflix is going to secure premium, globally minded anime with exclusive streaming rights. And don't let this frighten you. When they say globally minded anime, if MAPPA is the one that's in control, they're just like, yo, I view this as them saying like series that are just, we know are going to hit. You know, like your solo levelings, your high octane fucking shit that they know is going to bust. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to have, most importantly, exclusive streaming rights, which will make Netflix's catalog filthy, bro. It talks about sharpening its edge in an increasingly competitive market. Look, fool, If Netflix starts to get exclusive after exclusive after exclusive after exclusive, they're gonna crush the game. They're gonna crush the market. It's the same way how people say, like for example, when it comes to the streaming space, if YouTube really wanted to, they could crush Twitch and Kick and all these other services tomorrow. They just choose not to because it's more work than it's worth for them. If Netflix really wanted to, fool, if they really said, yo, we're gonna throw our hat in the ring all the way with this, they could crush Crunchyroll. They could crush High Dive. They could crush everybody. They already have 300 fucking million subscribers. They'd be like, look, fool, like here's the bag. Let's get it. And this tells me that Netflix is thinking about it, bro. They're fucking thinking about it because there's no question now about whether or not anime is viable in a long-term perspective. It's global. It's mainstream for better or for worse, which is why we as real anime fans, we better gate shit to keep. Look, motherfucker. We better gatekeep the fuck out of this shit. Beware of the tourists. Beware of the COVID weeb. To make sure that our shit doesn't get watered down, that our hobby, the thing that we love, doesn't end up like fucking Star Wars and all these other shows that are fucking shells themselves that nobody gives a fuck about anymore. But as long as we as fans do our part, I feel like this could be a dub for us, bro. But we got to be vocal, right? We got to be vocal. This is big, bro. And you're just seeing article after article after article about it, bro. But now, big thing here. So we've been alluding to it, right? And I've been talking about the One Piece remake and what's going to be happening with this. Like I said, so for me, this is a huge, huge piece of news. The One Piece remake, right, is coming to Netflix in February of next year, February of 2027. So it's going to be adapting. So what exactly is it going to be covering? Let's go here. Boom. So the One Piece anime remake by WIT Studio. And before we go any further, boom, we all know that WIT is a big fucking name. But for those of you who need a reminder of just how big of a big daddy WIT Studio is, let's check out their filmography, right? What they've worked on. Attack on Titan season 1 through 3. Cabaneri, The Ancient Magus Bride, right? Vinland Saga season 1, right? Vivi for an iSong, Ranking of Kings, Spy Family, right? Let's see. Let's keep going. Suicide Squad shit. Boom. Ascendance of a Bookworm. They're doing now, right? All of these movies, look. WIT makes hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. The Great Pretenders. They got some Pokemon in there, bro. They did Moonrise. Say what you want about Moonrise, how it was received. It looked amazing. You feel me? Come on, bro. This is a hitter studio. Okay? All they do is produce quality. Let's continue. The One Piece anime remake by WIT Studio will be exclusively released on Netflix, reimagining the East Blue Saga with modern animation and condensed episodes. So what they mean by that is this. All of the filler, they're going to be correcting the filler and the poor pacing that you see in early One Piece. Early One Piece was a victim of its time. It came out in 99, late 90s, early 2000s. Filler was heavy at the time. Pacing wasn't the best. Everybody knows that. When you're starting with One Piece, that's why you have entire filler guides so you can watch it more according with the manga pacing, right? This is going to fix that. This remake is going to fix this. They're not altering the story. They're just matching the manga pacing and updating the animation. Bro, get the fuck out of here. This will be the way to watch One Piece. And more important, it's longer episodes. So you'll see they say it's going to be 7 episodes, but each episode is going to be like 43 fucking minutes, bro. So it's the equivalent of like a 14 episode core, right? But it's in adapting the entire East Blue Saga. So let's go from the top here. Netflix and WIT Studio are collaborating on a ground-up remake of Eiichiro Oda's One Piece, focusing initially on the East Blue Saga, which introduces Monkey D. Luffy and his Straw Hat crew. Unlike the long-running toy animation series, this remake is designed for a global audience with updated visuals. See, global audience, we all hate that term, right? We all hate that term. And I'm hoping, oh, bro, All signs indicate it's going to be a faithful adaptation because Oda is involved. They're not going to be fucking, bro. They're not going to be fucking with it. It just means, like they preface here, or like they clarify here, updated visuals, modern 4K widescreen formatting, and tighter pacing to appeal to both new viewers and longtime fans. Because what the people who struggle to get into One Piece, what do they always say? It's 1,000 episodes. It's a lot of filler. It's a big commitment. Now people will be able to get in on the ground floor. Hey, it's starting over from the beginning, updated animation, right? Longer episodes, first shit, 7 episodes. Well, people are going to say, oh, I can get on board with that. I'll go ahead and start. You know how many people are going to say, you know what, fuck it, I'll start One Piece now? You know what that's going to fucking do, bro? This is huge. This is huge. So let's get the production details. WIT Studio, and we just broke down on the other tab that we did all of the shows that they're known for, right? And this is the director. And look, bro, when I tell you, if you look at the team, if you were to break down the team that's working on the One Piece remake and the shows that they've worked on, bro, they were putting together the fucking Avengers, bro. They were putting together the fucking Avengers, bro. Like, bro, the names that were attached to this, oh, they worked on this major thing. This, like, bro, they're not fucking around with this, bro. As they should, right? One Piece is the biggest IP on the planet. It outsells Western comics by large. 80-year-old Western IPs, One Piece is the number one selling, quote-unquote, comic, manga, whatever you want to call it, IP on the planet as of this year. They weren't fucking around. And what they focus on, animation style, high fidelity, modernized visuals with detailed character sheets, image boards, image with bike, bro. To get an idea of what they're talking about, let's look up some wit shit. Cabaneri. All right. We're gonna get One Piece for looking like Cabaneri, looking like Vinland Saga. You know what I'm saying? Like, but come on. You feel me? Like, bro, it's gonna be filthy, bro. This is super slept on too. If you like zombie style stuff, check out Cabaneri. It's short and awesome, bro. We're gonna be eating. So the first season will cover the East Blue Saga, including the Romance Down arc, Orange Town arc, Arlong Park arc, the Logtown arc, bro. But here's the important part: Netflix exclusivity. The remake is exclusive to Netflix, meaning it will not air on traditional TV or other streaming platforms. This allows Netflix to leverage its global reach, targeting both international and Japanese audiences with a high-quality, modernized anime experience. So, it's going to be coming out. So, this hasn't been updated. It's going to be coming out in February of 2027. All 7 episodes. Boom. This too is the key of these all ones. What's the key differences? Collaboration with Eiichiro Oda ensures fidelity to the manga while allowing creative liberties for modern storytelling. What does that mean? I don't know if I like that last sound right there. But either way, Oda has to sign off on anything that gets changed, updated, or whatever for the show. Oda is not going to let them fuck up his work. So as long as Oda's around, we ain't got nothing to worry about. That's a big deal. But the biggest thing, modern animation, condensed episodes, yo, bro. This is going to be sick, bro. And it's going to drop all at once. I know I'll be binge watching that shit. I know I'm going to check that out, for. You know what I'm wondering, too? Do you think there's going to be new, like, opening themes, or are they going to run back the old themes? Bro, if I get the chance to listen to Bon Voyage with updated visuals, like, bro, like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Hold on, we about to play that shit right now. We're going to put that shit up right now. Bon Voyage. So, by the way, after you're watching the replay, what is your favorite One Piece opening? For me, Bon Voyage is my favorite one today. Bon Voyage, One Piece. Let's go ahead and give this a play real quick. This is my fucking favorite one, bro. Let's go, bro. Is this? I need the actual one. Yes. Did
you know there's an awesome treasure hidden at the end of the sea?
Oh, what the fuck is this, bro? Hold on. Whoa. Is that the dub? And everybody, yo, happy Saturday to everybody that's up in this thing. Hey, do me a favor if you haven't already. Do me a favor and like the stream. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We hang out like this every Friday and Saturday. Gang of anime content coming, primarily Mushka Tensei, but yo, join the Discord as well. We're building a thriving anime community here. Happy to have you guys. But yeah, make sure you like the stream, share the stream, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys hanging out. And I'm sorry for almost playing that dub shit, bro. That was fucking insane. Let's try this one. No, that literally frightened me. Us getting those kind of iconic openings, bro. Are those iconic openings redone with modern animation? Like, bro, I mean, obviously, like, while it might be cool if they were to do some new music and shit, I feel like it would be such a layup to just re-rock the old music. So you're capturing that nostalgia, and you're now pairing nostalgia with updated animation and tighter pacing, bro. Bro, you can't lose. That is such a fucking W. Like, that would be such a goddamn win. It would be fucking ridiculous and so easy to do. So easy to do, bro. But yeah, man. So, and this is the WIT Studio co-founder Tetsuya Nakatake on the One Piece remake. The strength of each cut being built up by our core staff is already translating into powerful animation. That's what you want to hear, bro. That's what you want to hear. So he's pretty much saying, so only on Netflix, February of 2027. He says, we have not released any footage yet, but we are confident that it is something we can proudly present. For a Japanese motherfuckers to say some shit like that, for, especially attached to an IP like One Piece, you know that they think this shit is going to be heat, bro. He's pretty much saying, like, yo, fool, like, we're sitting on some kill, bro. We're sitting on some heat right now, fool. Like, this is going to be insane. And I'm so excited for that, bro. And if Netflix can make that happen, bro, and we can get the fidelity to the source material, if they don't try to fuck it up, which I don't think Oda will let them do, then I think we're going to be in a good spot, fool. And that should be fucking dope to see. And let's see here. So we had an article released on Deadline that'll hopefully give us a few more details here. We're going to read it in real time with you all as well. And we'll see like what we're talking about, right? So the One Piece, and mind you, so you guys know, the One Piece remake, the official name for it is The One Piece. So One Piece, regular One Piece is the normal one that's currently in production right now, that's being released normally, that's been out since 99. The One Piece is going to be the WIT Studio remake, so that we're all tracking, right? Okay. So the One Piece Netflix anime remake sets release month, unveils key art, right? And we're seeing this piece here, which is obviously from the manga, but this is like the little poster right here, for which I believe was in this tweet here, so we can blow it up. So this is the key. This is the first key art piece that they release. A Netflix series, The One Piece. The adventure starts here, and obviously it's Luffy as a kid with Shanks and the rest of the fucking the red-haired pirates. Oh, bro, this gets me so fucking pumped, bro. I'm so juiced for this. Let's see. So, the One Piece, Netflix's anime remake of the original One Piece series, is set to premiere in February 2027, the streamer announced Tuesday. We'll blow this up a bit for you guys as well. The streamer announced Tuesday. You can see the just released key art above and full large image below. Produced by WIT Studio, the series adapts the original manga from Chapter 1 of the East Blue Saga. The newly revealed concept art captures a moment in Windmill Village where the story's protagonist, Monkey D. Luffy, spent his childhood. The scene shows Luffy, enjoying a lively time at the village bar, Party's Bar, alongside the visiting red-haired pirates captain Shanks and first mate Ben Beckman, and the bar's owner, Makino. Rendered with a warm and gentle touch, the visual shows Shanks smiling at Luffy's boundless energy, while Makino's expression and the cozy atmosphere of the bar hint at the unexpected kindness of the red-haired pirates. Despite their fearsome reputation, according to Netflix's description, it is a snapshot of a precious moment in Windmill Village, the place where Luffy's great adventure begins. Season 1 will cover approximately the first 50 chapters of the original manga, spanning 7 episodes all at once with a total runtime of around 300 minutes, leading up to Luffy's encounter with Sanji, the sous chef of the floating restaurant Barati. All 7 episodes of the series will drop at once. So, this is in typical Netflix fashion. Now I'm wondering if, with all of the anime that Netflix partners, like how we talked about earlier in the stream, with the MAPPA partnership, with these new anime that will be streaming exclusively on Netflix, are they gonna stay with the binge content model, or will they do the weekly release model? Because I feel like, bro, like, as much as I like the idea of being able to binge a series that I'm fucking with all at once, the weekly release model, it keeps the conversation around a series alive. Those cliffhanger moments and having to wait an additional week after a big episode or a big reveal is kind of part of it, bro. It keeps the conversation going, and it allows the series to live, and it allows the crescendo to grow. It allows the buzz to grow, because there'll be times, right? Like, for example, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. For those of you guys who are kind of into Game of Thrones, right? A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is a Game of Thrones prequel that was dropped, right? And people were like, at first, like, okay, this seems like it's okay. But week after week, as each episode delivered and the conversation around it grew, it blew up to a degree that it wouldn't have if however many episodes had dropped at once, and it was big for a week or two, and then nobody kept talking about it. The benefit of weekly releases is over in this case 7 episodes, but your average 12 episode core, right? That's 12 weeks. That's 3 months where people can talk about a series over. It stays in the conversation, especially if it is strong. It'll be more people, yo, are you checking this shit out? Yo, this shit is dope. You need to fucking whop. You know what I'm saying? That's an essential part of an IP really taking hold. You don't want your series to be here today, gone tomorrow. It's hard to grow a fan base like that. A fan base grows through repeated buzz, through sustained conversation. And you sustain buzz and you sustain conversation over a period of time with weekly episodic releases. So I would hope that with the Netflix partnership, that studios like MAPPA are keeping that in mind. And they're saying, hey, look, we need weekly releases. And I believe they've been doing that. Like, I believe they've done that with Ranma. I believe they've done that with Sakamoto Days. I believe they've done that with the shows that they're like simulcasting between them and Crunchyroll. I think they've done that. And I think what they're doing with the One Piece shit is just it's such a big deal that they're like, we need to make a splash. So we're going to drop it all at once, because they have the One Piece live action, all that type of shit. So that it might be just for this specific one. And I hope that's the exception, not the rule. Because as much, like I said, the greedy party was like, yo, I want it all at once. It is better for the health of the IP that is released weekly, for that increased buzz, that increased conversation that will ultimately get more eyes on it and more fans to it, right? But yeah, all 7 episodes of the series will drop at once. Specific date to be announced, but it's going to be in February. So the original manga is by Eiichiro Oda. Masashi Koizuka directs, and Hideki Abe is assistant director. Series composition by Taku Kishimoto. Character design, chief animation directors Kyoji Asano and Takatoshi Honda. And like I said, if you look up the shit that these people have worked on, they're the fucking Avengers, bro. They've worked on some big series, bro. All right, cool. As we previously reported, season 3 of One Piece titled One Piece: The Battle of Alabasta. Okay, so that's the live action. And this is the big piece. Yo, bro, I'm really excited about this, bro. Like, this speaks to some major moves. And like we said earlier in the stream, once again, Netflix is becoming a power player. So now we're saying curated Netflix and MAPPA series. With the series that MAPPA is producing under this Netflix partnership, under this Netflix agreement, are going to be Netflix exclusive. You're only going to be able to find them on Netflix. That's fucking huge, bro. Now you're having the One Piece remake by WIT Netflix exclusive. And once again, I cannot reiterate this. Do you think that other anime studios are not paying attention to this? You think they're not watching and taking note and saying, let's see how this MAPPA partnership goes? And if it goes well, then we're going to have our reps reach out and say, hey, what's cracking? We see you fucking with MAPPA, that's going well, fuck with us too. You think that they're not watching? You think the anime world is not paying attention to this? And to be honest with you, you think this isn't making Netflix nervous? Netflix knows, this isn't making Crunchyroll nervous. Crunchyroll knows that we on fucking bullshit, bro. And they know that this is a threat. And if Netflix pulls this off, and if Netflix can ignore that Western desire to meddle and fuck with shit, if they can just let the Japanese studios do the Japanese thing that has allowed anime and manga to blow into the worldwide phenomenon that it is, if they can resist the Western urge to meddle and modern audience fucking shit, and they just cut the check and do nothing else, bro, there's nothing stopping Netflix from taking over the game. All they have to do is not fumble. Don't meddle. Don't make suggestions. No gender swaps, race swaps, or sexualities drops. No bullshit like that. No Western pressure for Western slop inserted into our anime and manga goodness. If they just let it be what it is, no censoring the fan service, no bullshit like that. They're saying whatever you deem to bring us, we will cut the check for. And otherwise, you have full control. If Netflix simply gets out of their own way, they will take the fuck over this space, bro. They will take over the space. Their UI is better. They don't have the controversies really and the issues that Crunchyroll has had. Netflix isn't perfect by any means. Let's not forget about the fucking the Cowboy Bebop live action. Let's not forget that. They've had their fuck ups. But if they can learn from those fuck ups and say we're not going to do that bullshit again, we're just going to let the Japanese lead this shit and take us to the promised land of anime domination and double tap fucking Crunchyroll, hey, fool, I'm kind of with it. So now we're in the wait and see. But this is huge. It's going to start with this. It's going to start with this. If this One Piece remake, fool, is everything that we were hoping it's going to be, if that MAPPA partnership ends up being everything we hope it's going to be, Netflix will be the new king of anime streaming in the West and anime streaming globally. They already have 325 million paid subscribers. Nobody's fucking with them, bro. Netflix will become the everything app. Why pay $8.99 just for Crunchyroll when you can pay dub for all the anime that you can handle and the full Netflix library? It'll become a no-brainer. It'll become an easy motherfucking decision, bro. It'll become too easy of a decision. Believe that. Believe that. Naruto fucking style, but believe that shit. Oh, man, that'll be sick, bro. But look, man, I got to get you guys' thoughts on all this too, bro. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a brief little break here. Then we will react to a few videos, and then we will go from there. So I will be right back, all right? exciting stuff, man. Exciting stuff. Netflix looking to become the big dog, the new king of global anime streaming, partnering with MAPPA, partnering with WIT for the One Piece remake. We're in for some good shit, man. So now we're going to pivot a little bit here, and we're going to react to some cool little videos that we've seen here. Obviously, on our channel here, my channel here, I'm super big on Isekai Anime. I'm super big on Mushoku Tensei and the like. So what we're going to do, we have a video here saying the top 10 new Isekai anime coming in 2026. This is from a dude called WoW Senpai. So I figured this would be a cool little video for us to react to and see what we might have on the pipe. That's how we'll close it out. We'll go from there. So let's see what he's talking about, see what looks good, and see what might need to get added to our watch list, huh? Let's go.
Hello, anime lovers. Welcome back to WoW Senpai. 2026 is bringing some of the most exciting new isekai anime. From overpowered villagers and goblins to space mercenaries and even a saintess on a food road trip. So today, we're counting down the top 10 new isekai anime of 2026, from hidden gems to absolute must-watch. Stick till the end, because number 1 might surprise you. At number 10, we've got Magical Explorer. Imagine playing a game and then getting isekai'd into it. Sounds cool, until you realize you're not the main character. Yeah, this guy gets reincarnated as a side character who's supposed to stay weak and irrelevant. But he has one advantage. He knows the entire game. So what does he do? He starts abusing everything. Hidden events, secret training, future fights. He's already ahead of everyone. And slowly, the side character starts stealing the spotlight.
Okay, so this seems pretty typical. You know, he's not the main character, but it's like, all right, cool. He has some sort of an advantage, right? And usually in most series like this, is going to be some sort of hidden power, some sort of whatever it may be. In this case, for him, it's his knowledge of the game, so on and so forth. So while this seems like a pretty common isekai trope with a slight twist, this will really depend on and come down to how well they do this, right? That'll be the kicker when it comes to this. So interesting enough. Okay. Magical Explorer, not bad.
Main hero getting overshadowed, the heroines starting to notice him instead. Plus, instead of a sword, this guy fights using a scarf. Yeah, bro really said fashion over everything. You'll get magic, academy life, and that satisfying, I wasn't meant to be strong, but now I am vibe. If done right, this could be one of the most fun isekai of 2026. Coming in at number 9, we've got So What's Wrong with Getting Reborn as a Goblin? Okay. Most isekai give you power. This one gives you the worst start possible. You're a goblin, the weakest creature, meant to die in days. But here's the twist. He can live longer and inherit abilities from other goblins. So instead of dying...
I feel like I've already seen something similar to this. Let me see, like, oh, there's another isekai series. Isekai series where MC is a goblin. There's one like this I'd already watched. It was called Remonster. Yeah, Remonster. That's what I'm talking about. Which was pretty dope. Remonster. Yeah, this shit was hella funny because he gets reborn as a goblin. Super like harem vibes as well. So he's getting all the goblin girlies, all that shit. It was pretty dope, dude. Remonster was pretty dope. It was a good, fun watch. If you're looking for a cool little isekai series, go ahead and check this out. But yeah, so I've already kind of seen this trope done. It's not necessarily new, but let's see if there's something different about this twist here.
He starts evolving. From surviving, to fighting, to leading. And suddenly, goblins aren't just fodder anymore. They're a threat. You'll see him grow from nothing, build influence, and slowly challenge humans and other races. It's a dark, rising to power story with strategy.
Totally didn't click on this for the Goonerbait thumbnail. Every isekai needs its own course. Hey, look, if you totally didn't click on it for the Goonerbait thumbnail, hey, you know, I totally didn't make the Goonerbait thumbnail for you to click on. Every isekai needs its own quirks. 100%, every isekai definitely needs its own quirks. And that's the thing, like, isekai itself, right, is going to follow some familiar tropes, but the best isekai riff on those tropes in such a way, right, that makes it interesting. Quirk, is that an MHA reference? I need to get a job. Don't we all, bro? We all need a job to fuel this habit of ours, right? But yeah, bro, like every isekai, it depends on how well they utilize the quirks, how well they spin them on his head a little bit, and then it'll come down to production value, how it looks, how it sounds, art direction, things of that sort. That's how you kind of differentiate, because when you're coming into Isekai, right, you expect certain things, right? And like you said, it's how well do they do those certain things. And like you said, the quirk doesn't have to be something crazy. It just needs to be just interesting enough to hold your attention, right? And then we let the rest take care of itself. But yeah, fools, hey, thanks for coming to the stream and hanging out with us, man. Hey, do me a favor, make sure you like the stream, share it out, and subscribe to the channel, man. So I do a lot of Mushka Tensei content, but I'm Isekai and Seinen series heavy as well. So I'm the one-stop shop. Check it out, man, and we'll continue the video. But yeah, the thumbnail is doing its job, baby. The thumbnail is doing its job.
And brutal world rules. Basically, what if the weakest monster decided to take over? If executed well, this could be one of the most gripping isekai of 2026. At number 8, we've got Hanari-san still wants to fight in the next life. What if the hero who defeated you in your past life shows up again as a student at your school and still wants to fight you?
That shit would be hella funny. So, bitch, you already beat me up in the previous life, in the previous world. Now you're showing up wanting to run the fate again. Like, leave me alone, bitch. Oh, somebody help me. She's stalking me.
That's exactly what happens here. The former Demon King gets reincarnated into modern Japan, hoping for a peaceful life. But nope, the hero who killed him is back too. And
all right, so this is kind of like Devil's a Part-Timer vibes. Okay. Hopefully this ends better than that did. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, bro.
She's just as intense as before. Now they're stuck in the same school, seeing each other every day. And instead of saving the world, it turns into something way more chaotic. She keeps challenging him. He just wants a quiet life. And somehow, it starts turning into a weird mix of fights.
I like the art style and direction with this. I'm fucking with the look. What do you guys think? I think this looks pretty good. This would probably be a watch for me, bro. I like the art style. It seems like it has that kind of quirky sense of humor to it as well, which I'm fucking with, bro. I like series with a vibe like this. I think this would be a lot of fun.
Teasing and romance. This isn't a dark isekai. It's a reverse isekai rom-com with constant energy between the two leads. Basically, enemies in the past, rivals in the present, and maybe something more. It is set to release in July 2026. At number 7, we've got...
All right, so yeah, that's pretty much like Devil is a Part-Timer, but without like the extra characters. Okay, all right, I can fuck with that.
The level 999 villager.
Sometimes when I'm bored, I search up Isekai on Crunchyroll, close my eyes, choose a random one, then don't look at the title, so surprised when what happens. Hey, bro, that's a good way of looking at it, bro. I kind of do the same shit. I'll do that with like Seinen series too. I'll be trying to find like those underground Isekai that like not a lot of people are not talking about, and you'll find some good ones like that, bro. Like there's one, for example, if you're looking for a solid one, have you seen the World's Strongest Exorcist? World's Strongest Exorcist. Have you seen this one, bro? It's called The World's Strongest Exorcist. The reincarnation of the World's Strongest Exorcist in another world. This shit, bro, super slept on. If you haven't seen it, it was fucking dope, bro. It was fucking dope. It only had one season, but it was really good. As far as those like random isekai gems, fuck with this one. And then, for example, if you liked campfire cooking in another world, then this other one here called Farming Life in Another World. Fire. I call this shit harem farmer, dude. Like this this dude gets reincarnated. He's like, yo, I just want to be a fucking farmer. And he just has a village full of fucking baddies and familiars, and it's fucking dope. So season 2 is actually premiering this season. It's on High Dive, and obviously you can find it other ways if you want to find it other ways. Super dope series. I highly, highly, highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. And then seems like it'll be a rom-com. Yeah, that other one does seem like it'll be a rom-com. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good.
In most fantasy worlds, your class decides your future. Warrior, strong, mage, powerful, villager. Yeah, fantasy worlds, your class decides your future. Warrior 6. At number 7, we've got the level 999 villager. In most fantasy worlds, your class decides your future. Warrior, strong, mage, powerful, villager. Yeah, you're basically background NPC. But this guy didn't accept that. From a young age, he figured out one thing: kill monsters, earn money, get stronger. So while everyone else followed their roles, he just kept grinding. And now, he's a level 999 villager in a world where villagers barely reach level 10. Yeah, the weakest class just broke the entire...
Okay, I'm fucking with it. So this is going to be a good old fashioned OP isekai protagonist, which we all love. I mean, at the end of the day, bro, like it's so funny to me because sometimes when you hear people talk about like the isekai genre, they be like, they're always super OP, they're always this and that. I'm like, bro, isekai at its core is a genre of wish fulfillment. Who wouldn't want to be reborn into another world where they have magical powers or superhuman sword combat abilities, and is also given the ability to curb stomp motherfuckers? Like, who the fuck wouldn't want that? I feel like that's the whole point of the genre. We've read our favorite stories growing up, and we always thought, bang, what the fuck? This would be kind of dope to have all these powers and be able to go ham to be the main character. That's the whole point. Why do isekai animes have the longest names? I know, right? And I feel like it's been like the past like 5 or 10 years, because you know a lot of these isekai series, they start off as light novels, and the short punchy names went the fuck out the window, bro. It used to be like the occasional one that you would see like that, and then become, I just got reincarnated in another world with a stick, and I found this girl that I like, and she likes me too, and now I'm trying to see what's going on, and maybe I might want to go home. The series. It said level 99, 199. What a grind. Yo, facts, bro. Like, how fucking long would it take you to get to level 999? Unless you just had it like that. That's a lot of playtime. Definitely fucking unemployed, right?
Higher system. Now imagine how everyone reacts when a non-combat NPC starts outperforming heroes. This anime is pure power fantasy, but with a twist. It questions the whole idea of fixed roles, and if you're into overpowered MCs who break the rules of the world, this is definitely one to keep on your radar. It's expected to release in July 2026. Coming in at number 6,
bro, there is so much fucking heat coming out in fucking July. Mushoku Tensei comes out in fucking July. Fucking these past two that we just saw come out in fucking July. We're about to be isekai motherfucking eating in July. Goddamn. Ridiculous is fire, bro. You're watching that too? Dude, I'm not hearing anybody talk about Ridiculous Reincarnation. That shit is fucking hilarious, bro. I'm so, Rojays, you know ball, my boy. You know ball. Ridiculous is fucking lit, bro. And not enough people are talking about it. That shit is heme. If you guys forever end up watching this replay or watching it right now, you need to check out Ridiculous Reincarnation. This fucking shit is hilarious. The main character is the funniest ass clown that you've ever seen. This fool doesn't give a fuck. It's so funny. So the premise behind Ridiculous Reincarnation is essentially when people die, they get the option to be reborn into another world, and they get to pick. But the thing is, like, certain roles have like super long wait time. So if you want to be like the main character, like an OP, like if you want to be the hero or you want to be the demon lord, you might have to wait like 20,000 years to get reincarnated. So this dude just says, all right, cool, like what's the next thing I can just get reincarnated right away? Like, so he's like, and when he gets reincarnated as like the rib of a hero, or you might get reincarnated like as a frog or some shit. So he pretty much just picks whatever's available right away. So he has these ridiculous reincarnations that just make for a hilarious fucking storytelling. It's fucking great. If you haven't watched it, Ridiculous Reincarnation, check that shit out. And then he said, my former companions tried to end me, but thanks to the gift of an unlimited Gaga, I got level 999 friends, and I'm out for revenge on my former party members in the world. It's peak. Not too long of a name. That sounds fucking peak, my boy. Hey, they put so much effort into that show. It's great. Yeah, bro. And you look at it, and it seems like it wouldn't be good. And it has a pretty, like, unique art style between, like, the line work, the shading, and the actual art direction itself. So it's one of them things, like, it's a sleeper hit, fool. Like, people look at it, and if you look at, like, the ratings on Crunchyroll, it didn't have the best rating. What the fuck you guys talking about? Like, this show is fucking dope. Not enough people know ball, fool. You got to know how to go, like we were talking about, when it comes to isekai, you got to know how to go second and third level to find those gems. You're going to have your Titan series, right? You're going to have your super AAA series, your Mushoku Tenseis, your ReZeros, your Konosubas, your Campfire Cooking, and so on and so forth. But to find those other gems, those not super name brand gems, you got to be willing to explore. And that's how you find shit like Ridiculous Reincarnation. Fucking facts, bro.
We've got From Overshadowed to Overpowered, second reincarnation of a talentless sage. Imagine spending your entire life trying to learn magic and failing. That's exactly what happens to this guy. No matter how hard he tries, he dies without achieving anything. But then, he gets a second chance. Reborn hundreds of years later, he finds out something shocking.
Isn't that interesting though, bro? Because isn't that everybody's kind of like their biggest fear is like to live your life and die having never really accomplished anything. And so I think that's another reason why like Isekai is such a fulfilling genre and such a sought after genre, right? Because I think we're all seeking meaning, right, in our lives in some way, shape, or form. Whether that's like big meaning or small meaning, bro. You just want to have a life that you felt like meant something. And if not, who wouldn't want to be reborn in a life where you are the main character, where you are the hero, where you can make an impact, right? Or at the very least, you can just do some fucking cool shit and be surrounded by baddies, right? Like, what the fuck? You feel me? I don't watch Isekai unless the MC is killed by my goat, Chuck Kun. Yeah, Chuck Kun be taking out a lot of motherfuckers, man. Honestly, Chuck Kun is a serial killer. I think you're a fan of serial killers. But nah, fool. Chuck Kun plays no fucking games. That's a fucking fact.
The world's magic has declined. Spells that were once basic, now considered legendary. And suddenly, the talentless mage becomes the strongest person alive. Now he enters a magic academy, where everyone thinks they understand magic, until he completely breaks their reality. This
Oh, that's so funny. So basically before, it's kind of like with Star Wars, how you had like the modern Jedi weren't shit compared to like old Republic Jedi. So it's like this fool is like, bro, like back in my era, I wasn't shit, but now because all the sacred knowledge has been lost, and you guys are super basic bitches, I'm the shit now. Like, what the fuck? You're winning by default. He's like, hold on, you guys don't know how to do this shit. Like, oh my god, this is this ancient lost spell. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This was like a second grade spell when I was growing up. Yo, that would be kind of lit. I'm not gonna hold you. That would be kind of cool.
anime is all about that underdog to overpowered payoff, and the animation looks clean and promising so far. It is set to release in July 2026. At number 5, we've got Tomb Raider King. What if you got a second chance and knew exactly where all the power in the world was hidden? In a world where mysterious tombs appear across the globe, powerful relics grant insane...
Bro, I'm not gonna hold you. This looks kind of like a Donwa. Like, this looks like it's a Chinese studio that made this. It has that kind of Chinese look to it. Kind of like, not quite like Lord of the Mysteries, but like a few of those other ones.
Abilities to those who find them. The strongest become known as Tomb Raiders. Our MC was once one of the best, until he was betrayed and left to die. But then, he wakes up 15 years in the past. Now he knows everything. Where the tombs will appear. Which relics are the strongest? And who's going to...
There's an anime where the guy gets killed when he's literally in his room on the second floor, and fucking somehow a truck crashes into his bedroom. Isekai animes are a fever dream, bro. What the fuck? Yo, what's the name of that, bro? Yo, hey, find the name of that shit. Probably like Solo. Yeah, you know what? This fool does kind of look like Jinwoo a little bit. You're right, fool. But hey, nah, fool. Hey, the dude who the truck crashed into his room, find the name of that and drop that in the chat, or I'll Google it. It's actually not. I'm gonna Google that. Hold on. Truck crashes into guy's room anime. Hold on. The fuck? Yeah, I mean, we know it's fucking Truck Kun. Yo, bro. Hey, bro, find the name of that series, bro. Like, that sounds hilarious. Yeah, nah, fool. This fool looks
So this time,
this fool looks like
betrayed and left to die.
He does look like
Our MC
Jinwoo.
was once one of the best, until he was betrayed and left to die. But then, he wakes up 15 years in the past. Now he knows everything. Where the tombs will appear. Which relics are the strongest? And who's going to betray him? So this time, he's taking everything for himself, snatching relics.
So it's like, for example, like, this is an interesting riff on the Isekai shit when he's not going, like, when they don't go to another world, they go into the past of the same world or into the future of the same world. Like, so these are two in a row that are doing that. So one, the dude gets reincarnated hundreds of years into the future, and this dude, he went 15 years in the past. I like that sort of like riff on it a little bit, though I don't know if I would call this an Isekai. This is the same world. Isekai by definition is other world, right? This is same world, but it's kind of the reincarnation trope. So this is more of a reincarnation anime than an isekai, but it plays on the same kind of like functions and whatnot. This seems pretty interesting so far. So far, this has been a pretty good list. I ain't gonna hold you.
Before anyone else, outplaying enemies, and staying 10 steps ahead of everyone. This anime is all about strategy, revenge, and straight-up domination with fast-paced action and a really satisfying power climb. And if you're a fan of solo leveling, you're definitely going to love this one. Coming in at number 4.
Hey, Rojace, you called it, bro.
We've got Magic Knight Rayearth, summoned to another world called
Oh, Magic Knight Rayearth. I feel like this is a fucking remake of a classic anime. Magic Knight Rayearth has been around before.
Sephiroth. 3 ordinary schoolgirls are chosen as magic.
Yeah, hold on. Nah, that's for sure a remake, dude. Magic Knight Rayearth. Yeah, it is a remake. Boom. Yeah, done by Clamp. Yeah, this is a classic shoujo. When did the original premiere? Yeah, Magic Knight Rayearth is for sure. But oh yeah, okay, yeah, it's a remake of the 1990. This came out in 90. Hold on, when did the original anime come out for? Yeah, original anime came out in 94. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Probably Dungeons in the Real World. Boom. Rayearth. Yeah, bro. This fucking Rayearth remake, bro. That's gonna be sick, fool.
Knights and given a mission to save it. There, they're tasked with rescuing the princess and restoring the world. At first, it sounds like a simple fantasy adventure, but it quickly turns into something much deeper.
Have you seen that clip of Nikkei 30 LARPing on solo leveling? That's funny. That's funny, bro. Hey, we'll check that shit out. We'll look that up. I'll look that up after this.
As they learn magic, face powerful enemies, and even control giant magical mechs, the journey becomes more intense than they ever expected. This anime mixes classic isekai adventure, magic, and mecha with strong emotion.
Bro, that 90s aesthetic, bro, is fucking unbeatable. Like, you know what this reminds me of? Like, Magic Knight Rayearth looks a lot like Escaflowne. So have you guys seen Vision of Escaflowne? So this, when you talk about like classic isekai stories, right? Digimon but Escaflowne was one of those ones, fool. So this is like, if you like classic like 90s anime and shit, Escaflowne, fucking sick. And this fool, so the girl gets sent to another world, but then she links up with the knight fool, who is this guy, and he pilots this gigantic fucking mech called Escaflowne, and that shit is fucking sick. And when he pilots Escaflowne, like the shit, like it like jams like needles into him. He literally like syncs up with the mech and shit. It's fucking crazy, bro. Escaflowne is fucking sick, bro. This is a fucking classic. So if you like that sort of 90s aesthetic, bro, if you're fucking with like Rayearth, if you've never seen Escaflowne, check that shit out, bro. Escaflowne was fucking dope, dude. Escaflowne was dope. Has all the shit too. Has the little romance elements, all that type of shit. It's like Fortnite added a solo leveling skin and got him to promote it, even though he don't know jack shit about solo leveling. So he low-key starts making up. Oh yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel like that. He's like fucking. He's like, I don't know what the fuck this is. So yeah, that's Escaflowne. He's like, I don't know what this is, but I'll take the fucking check, right?
Moments and real character growth that hits harder as the story progresses. And with the remake bringing modern animation and visuals, this could end up surprising a lot of people. At number 3, we've got the world's strongest rearguard, Labyrinth Country's Novice Seeker. In most isekai, the strongest character is always on the front lines. But what if the strongest one stays in the back? After dying in the real world, the MC is transported to a fantasy world filled with dungeons, levels, and classes. Instead of choosing a flashy role, he becomes a rearguard, a support class that fights from behind. At first, it doesn't sound impressive, but as he builds his party...
I'll be honest, so the art style is basic, the animation doesn't seem that good, but this seems like it could be like a good mid-tier story. Like if it's a fire story and it has like real good likable characters, this could definitely be, this is what I call like a popcorn isekai, like when you just watch just to chill, you feel me? Like, yeah. Not everything needs to be Mushka Tensei, you feel me? Like, I fuck with the genre so much, like, I can just eat these up all day. So this is like a cool, like, turn your brain off and watch, you know what I'm saying?
And explores dangerous labyrinths, something becomes clear. He's not just supporting the team, he's controlling the entire fight, boosting allies, managing battles, and turning the tide without even stepping forward.
Nigga got a slingshot.
This anime focuses more on strategy and teamwork rather than solo power, which makes it stand out from typical isekai. If you enjoy team-based adventures where strategy matters most, this is worth checking out. Coming in at number 2, we've got the Forsaken Saintess and her foodie road trip in another world.
Okay, so this seems like this is a campfire cooking in another life derivative. We'll see. Let's see what this is talking about.
Summoned to another world as a saintess and immediately rejected. That's how her story begins. Her ability is called useless, so instead of becoming a hero, she's left on her own. Using her unique skill to summon a camping van, she starts traveling across the world, cooking food, exploring new places, and meeting new companions along the way.
The fuck, bro? This is like this is campfire cooking in another world with a chick. instead of Makoto. What the fuck? And she seems a little bit more eager about it than he does. I mean, shit, I like campfire cooking in another world, so I'll totally watch this one too. But what the wherever the fucking manga behind this one didn't even try. He's like, all right, cool. Imagine campfire cooking in another world, but with a van and a girl. He said, yeah, I remember in like the 4th movie when Chahei fought Igris, it was insane. Oh, okay, yeah, this motherfucker was really... that boy did a quick Google search. He's like, I'm just going to throw out a whole bunch of fucking terms and just go fucking ham. That's fucking hilarious, bro. I hope y'all gave him the belt for that. Yeah, I remember like in the 4th movie. Poor girl got rejected as a saintess. Ooh, hey, man, you got to look at it like this. And she gets rejected, that means she still has the power, so now she gets to kick it, travel, sightsee, eat some food, meet some cool people. Apparently she got a fucking whip too. You know what I mean? Life's a little easier for her.
No intense battles, no saving the world, just a peaceful journey. If you enjoy calm, feel-good adventures, this is definitely one to check out. It is set to release in July 2026. Taking the #1 spot, reborn as a space mercenary, I woke up piloting the strongest starship, waking up
I haven't seen this one, but I feel like I had seen the light novel or the manga for this and I actually was going to read this. So now I'm interested to see what this is looking like.
in another world is one thing. Waking up in space,
Oh, yeah, because this reminded me. Did you guys watch I'm the Evil Lord of an Intergalactic Empire? I'm the Evil Lord of an Intergalactic Empire. This shit was fucking dope. Not the best animation, but like I said, it's one of those super dope mid-tier isekais where the dude, like, he gets reincarnated into another world after finding out, like, his wife is cheating on him and he went to crazy death for her and shit. So, like, he dies and all type of shit. And he's like, I'm going to be an evil lord in my next life. But everything, quote unquote, evil he does ends up benefiting the kingdom and shit. Like, it ends up super dope, bro. And he has all these people around him. Like, he saves this girl. She's an android. Like, she's like the head of a company. Like, it's super funny. It's a great what I call popcorn isekai. Like, a good one that you can just watch. You don't have to think too deep about it. Like, you just watch that shit. Like I said, not everything needs to be Mushka Tensei or fucking slime isekai. It's a good, just, hey, bro, watch that shit. Enjoy that shit. Move on. I'm the Evil Lord of an Intergalactic Empire. Check that shit out if you haven't already.
inside the strongest starship is something else. That's exactly what happens here. The MC suddenly finds himself inside a world just like his favorite sci-fi game, already equipped with a top-tier ship and everything he needs to survive. No weak start, no slow...
Hold on, let's go run that back. Okay, everything needs to survive, all right.
Favorite sci-fi game, already equipped with a top-tier ship and everything he needs to survive.
Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. Good for you, good sir.
He needs to survive. No weak start, no slow grind. He's powerful from the beginning. So what does he do? He becomes a space mercenary, taking jobs, fighting pirates, exploring planets, and living freely across the galaxy. And because he already knows how this world works, he stays one step ahead of everyone. This anime is all about freedom, space battles, and straight-up domination, but in a sci-fi setting instead of the usual fantasy.
I like the sound of that shit, bro. Because you know what's funny too, bro? Is like you don't see a lot of sci-fi themed isekai. That's something that I've noticed a lot of. Like, for example, like I'm the Evil Lord of an Intergalactic Empire. I think is the only sci-fi isekai that I've seen, bro. Most of them are fantasy worlds, right? Or some kind of riff of the modern world. You don't see a lot of sci-fi themed isekai. Hold on, I'm about to look that up. Space waifu is good on exactly right. Good old space waifu. Can't go wrong with that. Let's Google this though. Sci-fi themed isekai. Oop. Let's see here. Best isekai sci-fi game rant. Let's see what the fuck they talking about. In another world, there's smartphone. Yeah, I'm the evil lord of an intergalactic empire. We're born as a space mercenary. Okay, so this is the one that we literally just saw the video on. Ari Ferretta. I wouldn't say Ari Ferretta is a fucking sci-fi isekai. What the fuck are you talking about? Knights and Magic. Okay, but all of these are pretty much, I guess, Gate technically, but Gate takes place in the modern world, bro. Yeah. Okay, maybe let me do this better. Space themed isekai. Yeah, it's mainly this space mercenary shit. Yeah, you don't see a lot of those, bro. Most of them lean more heavily on the fantasy trope, bro. You don't see a lot of like space themed isekai. I think the space mercenary one that we just saw the video of, and motherfucking I'm the evil lord of an intergalactic empire. So give me a good like 9 to 12 episode anime to watch. I don't feel like sleeping at night. All right, cool. What type of shit do you like, bro? You specifically like isekai stories? Do you like the zombie genre? Like, what is some shit that you fuck with, bro? If you want a good like 9 to 12 episode anime with some fire animation, I recommend you check out, and you like zombie style shit, Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress. This one right here, fucking fire, done by WIT Studio, god tier animation, fire ass fucking action scenes, bro. It's dope. I'll actually play you a trailer for it right now. Hold on. Yeah, this video is pretty much done. So let's go like this. We'll play the trailer. Cabaneri is fucking fire. I think it's super slept on too, bro. Cabaneri, of the Iron Fortress trailer. Boom. And yeah, it's on Crunchyroll if you got it, or Shell the High Seas, whatever.
やっぱりあんた普通じゃないね。
俺はカバネを倒せる力が欲しい。
戦が下手だね。だからいっぱい死ぬんだよ。
あなたは父に言っていましたね。銃を向ける相手を。
やっぱりあんた普通じゃないね。
俺はカバネを倒せる力が欲しい。
戦が下手だね。だからいっぱい死ぬんだよ。
あなたは父に言っていましたね。銃を向ける相手を間違うな。
こいつはカバネじゃないよ。人でもないけど。
あそこにいるのはカバネだけじゃない。俺の友達だ。カバネリは人の敵ですか、それとも味方ですか。
20年前、日の本の民はカバネを恐れて駅の中に閉じこもった。仲間も誇りも捨てて逃げ出したんだ。
駅が生まれたの。
英雄になりたいのですか。
俺たちは侍だ。この命今捨てずしていつ捨てる。バカなんだよ生駒は。
貫き術を量産できれば人はカバネと戦える。
あんたは私と鋼鉄城に乗る。そして私の盾になる。
盾だって。
それじゃあ100秒目標でロックン少女。砕けたカバネリ、人とカバネの狭間にあるもの。
It's so fire, bro.
たとえ自分が助かるためだとしても、誰かの命を踏みにじってはならないと。倒すべきはカバネだ。カバネを倒すために俺の命はあるんだ。
Bro, it's so fucking good, bro. Yo, bro, Cabaneri is fucking fire, bro. It's like 12 episodes and I think a movie. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's short, it's cool to watch. But yeah, bro, Cabinet. You know, it was one of them things, bro. Yeah, I don't know why people didn't like it more, because it kind of had like a mixed reception. But when you watch it, god tier animation, cool ass storyline, their approach to the zombies and what the Cabaneri actually are was fucking fire. Like, there was literally nothing I didn't like about that shit, about the show, other than the fact that it was short. You feel me? Cabaneri is fucking dope. I sing this series' fucking praises, especially because I'm super big into the zombie genre. So yeah, so if you're looking for something to watch, Nami K, look, check out Cabaneri, the Iron Fortress, bro. That shit is fucking heme, and it's on motherfucking Crunchyroll or whatever else you watch your anime programming. Shit is fucking dope. But yeah, Rojace, yeah, the fact that you know ball, my boy, you know ball. But yeah, I fuck with Cabaneri, bro. Let's see here. All right, cool. So what did y'all think about the Isekai listed in this fool's video? I think it was pretty good. Go ahead and give that a like. Wow Senpai. AI voiceover, but it was all good. I think some of these I'm gonna definitely check out too. These are coming out pretty soon. When did he publish this video? Oh, you literally did just a few days ago. For sure. Now this is going to be worth checking out. All right, cool, man. And then we got another video by a cat called VinnyTube. So if you guys don't know who VinnyTube is, like this fool knows ball, dog. He has a lot of really good anime knowledge, bro. And he's really good at recommending series. So he says the upcoming new 2026 anime nobody is talking about. Let's go ahead and check this video out. Let's see if he has some shit that's worth us talking about here. It should be pretty dope, though. Yeah, bro. Nah, I definitely think it was a pretty solid group, dude. Yeah, I definitely I think more than half of them I'll at least give a watch, bro. I didn't see any that I was really like, I'm not too sure about. So maybe like one or two. I thought it was pretty dope. Hell yeah, you're right.
Every year, the anime calendar feels louder than...
Oh, and yeah, if you guys haven't already, make sure that you sub to the channel. Like I said, I'm usually streaming like this Fridays and Saturdays around this time, bro. So if it's not on Friday, it'll be on Saturday. We come and we kick it, bro. Do I watch a lot of mainstream anime or just this underground stuff? Look, bro, I watch everything. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to know ball. So for me, bro, especially as like a person who does like AniTube and whatnot, I got to have ball knowledge. So I watch the mainstream shit, and then I watch what I call the second and third level down animes, and that's how I'm able to whip out the references and make recommendations. Because I always want to be able to, like, if someone asks me like, hey fool, like, can you recommend a series to me, I gotta watch a lot of different shit so I can recommend a lot of different stuff, and then I can ask them those questions. Because a lot of times what you'll see, bro, and this is where I kind of differ when it comes to like how I recommend anime, is what a lot of times what you'll do, or what we have a tendency to do. Let's say someone who doesn't really watch anime asks you like, hey dude, like I kind of want to get into anime, can you recommend me something? What is your first tendency? It's going to be to just recommend something that you like, right? Like something that you know that you like. I've watched so much anime over the course of my life, bro, and I make it a point to check out a lot of different shit so that I can lead with a question. I can be like, all right, cool, like what kind of genres do you fuck with? Nah, I'm not. Hell no, I'm not caught up on One Piece, bro. One Piece is a fucking project for me, bro. I think I'm like on episode like 4 or something, bro. Like, I'm not even at the time skip yet, bro. Because One Piece, I literally have to watch like 30 to 50 episodes at a fucking time, bro. Like, like I can't really watch anything else when I'm watching One Piece. Like, for example, I think probably because Mushoku Tensei season 3 comes in July. What I will probably do, bro, is sometime in June, I'm going to crush like probably like another like 50 episodes, bro. Or some shit like that. That's literally how I have to watch that shit. They'll be shit up if I caught up on One Piece. You know I ain't caught up on One Piece, bro. But yeah, so what I'll do is I'll be like, hey, like give me a genre that you like, or what's the last sort of movie that you watched that you liked, or so on and so forth. So then I'll be like, oh, I like this genre or that genre. Then I'm like, all right, cool. Then you'll probably like this anime. So I like to watch as much anime as possible, because I just fuck with anime like that. But yeah. So yeah, to answer your question, I watch the mainstream stuff and I watch that gang of underground shit. One Piece is a journey to get through 100%. Yeah, One Piece is a journey to get through 100%, bro. What makes One Piece so dope, or what makes it a slog, is the fact that it suffers from the time period when it first came out. Obviously, it came out in 99, and it has that late 90s, early to mid 2000s sort of pacing, which is god awful, and a lot of filler. But what makes One Piece so dope and why it's so popular, in my opinion, bro, is because One Piece has god tier world building, bro. God tier world building. Oda is a master, and he keeps everything together, bro. The way he builds these worlds, bro, and the way he has expanded the lore has been insane. And that's why, like, if you guys end up checking the earlier part of the stream out, I was talking about how WIT Studio is doing the One Piece remake, right? It's gonna be a Netflix exclusive, and it comes out February of next year. And they're remaking it with updated animation, but more importantly, they're fixing the pacing. It's going to follow the manga pacing, so it's not going to have all the filler and shit. It's going to be crazy good. So imagine One Piece with all the pacing issues fixed and studio with studio animation, so like the niggas who did Cabaneri. It's going to be insane. You got to sacrifice watching other peak to watch the true peak. Yeah, bro, like One Piece is one of those ones, bro. Like, yeah, like for example, like the way I'll typically catch up on my backlog and then keep up with the current season anime is so essentially like I have my backlog right now. Like I literally have like probably like 30 series on my backlog right now. So what I'll do is during the week, I'll work on a backlog series, right? And then I will watch all my seasonal anime on Sunday. Like for example, so when I get off stream, I'm going to watch all my seasonal anime for the week today. So I do it like, you know how back in the day we had Saturday morning cartoons? I call it like my Sunday night anime. Like that's what I'll do. That's how I've figured out how to like do both. So my fucking backlog is actually getting worked on. But yeah, I think it's cool to see the evolution of art over the decades in One Piece. Yeah, bro. Real talk. If you look at like early One Piece, like it was never bad. But it's like, yeah, to see like how Oda progressed, how art and animation as a whole, just in anime progressed from like 4:3 to like widescreen and so on and so forth, bro. It's really crazy, dog. Like you really see it. And that's the thing that's dope about long running series like that is you literally see how anime as a medium has evolved within them as well. Super dope. I was like, he says, nah, after they finish One Piece, like 2 months later, they're going to be like coming in 2037, One Piece ship. Yo, facts. I'll tell you this, bro. With the One Piece remake, I think that will end up being, if they do it right and they don't fuck it up, which I don't think they will, it'll become the definitive way to watch One Piece. Because what they're doing is they're doing entire arcs. So, for example, the entire East Blue Saga is going to be in the first drop. And then if they end up doing it like that, bro, because the episodes are going to be like 43 minutes long and shit, I think they'll get through it faster because this will be a priority for them. Not like One Piece hasn't been a priority, but you know what I mean. They'll get through it faster. It'll be condensed, and it'll become the definitive way to watch One Piece. 100%. I think what will be dope, too, is imagine this. So chances are they're going to redo like the opening themes and the ending themes, but what if they don't, bro? What if they fucking just redo the animation and art style of the opening and ending themes, but they keep the songs the same? How dope would that be, bro? I was talking about that earlier. That would be fucking sick, bro. I hope they do that. Like, all right, look. So, for example, he said, I basically told people to just wait for the WIT Studio remake to start One Piece because I know the current series has an intimidating episode count. Facts. Like, you really got to be like, all right, cool, I'm going to get in there. And people always think like, oh, it's a lot of episodes. That's why you haven't watched them. Like, no, fool. Like, I just have to watch that a lot of episodes at a time. Like, when I first started watching One Piece a few years ago, I was like, all right, cool. 'Cause I used to dub One Piece. I used to be like, yo, fuck that, bro. I'm not trying to watch it. Not dub, like, but I wasn't really interested. But I was like, all right, cool, bro. I keep hearing people talk about it. Because you got to remember, like, when I was a kid and One Piece was on, like, in the late 90s, and I've been watching anime for a long time, fool. Like, it had that super goofy, like, American opening. And at the same time, like, nigga, I'm watching Dragon Ball Z, bro. I'm watching the hard shit. I'm not watching One Piece. And so that stigma had always stayed with me. And then I was like, all right, cool. Like, eventually I was like, oh, so it's going to be a whole new soundtrack. Damn. Fuck. I'm not mad at it, but I think that's a missed opportunity. Because then you wouldn't have been able to fuse the nostalgia with the updated animation. That would have been dope, bro. Imagine getting Bon Voyage with updated fucking animation, bro. How sick would that have been? Come on, bro. Like, look, dog, hold on, bro. I literally watched this earlier. Bon Voyage, One Piece. Let's go ahead and watch Bon Voyage real quick. Imagine us getting this, but with WIT Studio 2026 animation. Tell me if we ain't got this with updated WIT animation. Tell me that wouldn't go crazy, fool. But yeah, the One Piece rap opening from 4Kids was fun. Terrible censorship, but enjoyed the rap opening. Yeah, bro, I didn't like the rap opening, bro. I didn't care for it. And I remember as a kid, like that, and it came, like back in the day, it came on at a weird time. And then I didn't really care for the opening. So it turned me off to the series literally for decades, bro. But then, like I said, I came back to it as an adult, and I was like, okay, bro, if I can make myself like this, I have 1,000 episodes to watch. And who doesn't want 1,000 episodes of a series that they fuck with? So I thugged through the first 30, and I finally caught it, and I was like, oh, I get it now. And I was like, for sure, I'm a One Piece fan. You know what I'm saying? One Day is the best One Piece opening. Whitebeard is literally my third favorite character, and motherfucker got like 30 episodes of screen time. Okay, well, okay, let's play this one then. I will play that one then. Hold on, fool. One Day, One Piece. We'll play that one. We'll play that one, sub. All right, let's check this one out, motherfucker. I might have to start my One Piece watching already. I don't know, man. Y'all got me thinking about it. I might have to backburner my other shit. Rainforest was sick, bro. That's a fact. Nah, you're right. Yeah, nah, this one is pretty dope too. Not as good as Bon Voyage, but this shit is heaved too. Nah, that shit was heavy. You right, bro. You right. I'm fucking with it. Nah, One Piece is dope, bro. Like I said, it's such a good story. And like to see just how successful One Piece is, like it's literally like the #1 selling, not just manga, but comic of all time. You know what I'm saying? I wonder like how that must feel for Oda to like literally have created the biggest IP in the world. Like what does that feel like? And to like still be actively telling the story, even though he's in the quote unquote end game, but it's like has like another like three to 5 years. But like to see your vision be accepted and beloved on that sort of scale, you know what I'm saying? Like probably like the only person who has like a similar shit is like Toriyama Sensei with Dragon Ball, right? And like, bro, that must be crazy, bro. Like I can't imagine what that must feel like. Something for us all to aspire to, right? That would be fucking dope, dude. But hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Okay. So let's check this video out. Let's see what VinnyTube's talking about. But yeah, VinnyTube has definitely had some good ball knowledge, man. This motherfucker be lit. So let's see what's cracking.
The last, doesn't it? 2026 is already.
We'll run it back. said, Oda married a Nami cosplayer, 10 times better than having the most popular comic book. Hey, bro, at least you know she fucks with you for your work, too, bro. That must have been lit. That must have been so lit for him. He's like, dude, my wife's literally cosplays as my fucking created characters. Like, I'm literally living the life right now.
Every year, the anime calendar feels louder than the last, doesn't it? 2026 is already shaping up to be the noisiest yet, but the shows I end up recommending to people 12 months later are almost never the ones trending in January. So I went digging. These are 10 upcoming non-sequel 2026 anime that nobody's posting about, but I think we probably should be.
All right,
starting with the most genuinely weird pitch on the 2026 slate. The World is Dancing is a historical seinen from Cygames Pictures dropping this summer, and it's about Zimi, the guy who basically invented no theater as a kid in 1374. I know.
This shit looks like Elusive Samurai. Have you guys seen Elusive Samurai? Yeah, and I mean, if you're looking for another short one, Elusive Samurai was also really good, and its use of color is fucking fire. So, like, Elusive Samurai. And I believe Elusive Samurai is coming back. This season 2 is going to be coming this year. But this shit was fucking fire, bro. If you haven't checked it out, Elusive Samurai, historical fucking anime, this shit was hella fucking good, bro. But yeah, this shit looks just like it. Hold on.
Try selling that to a modern focus group, eh? But the same director pulled off The Great Passage, which was an anime literally about compiling a Japanese dictionary. So if anyone on earth can make a period piece about dance philosophy actually sing, then it's probably him, isn't it? They've got a living national treasure no performer supervising the choreography, and the Tokyo Paralympics opening ceremony choreographer handling the movement. The teaser opens with the line, "Whether you dance or not, people die," which is a level of philosophical commitment that I genuinely respect for a summer release.
Just the fact that this is a seinen series has me interested, because I like seinen series tend to be my favorite anime nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So your Black Lagoons, your Berserks, My Just Darlings, Vinland Saga, so on and so forth. That tends to be like more of my alley and shit. So this looks pretty good.
Strange, probably beautiful, and one of the few 2026 shows I'm actively nervous about missing.
俺は勝ちだと猿楽のために何を失っても構わない。己の形は探すものではない。作っていくものだ。
私も私の形を見つけるのだ。
Picture this, a master apprentice puts on the wrong artifact, loses control, and kills the best friends and his own master in a single afternoon.
If it's side games, I expect animation hype like Uma Musume. Facts, bro. Facts. Side games be on that shit. That's a fact, bro.
That's the cold open energy of the Vermilion Mask, which 100 Studio is adapting as a 2-core October premiere. It's a seinen manga about a guy destroying every...
Another fucking seinen. See, talk to me dirty, baby. That's what the fuck I want to hear. Everybody got to do one. My bad. Let me run it back.
Mask, which 100 Studio is adapting as a 2-core October premiere. It's a seinen manga about a guy destroying every cursed mask his teacher ever made, and here's the kicker. The Blue Lock Season 1 director, Tetsuaki Watanabe, personally pitched this project because he's been a huge fan of the manga for years. Character designs by the Masho guy, music by Arisa Okehazama of Jujutsu and Apothecary Diaries fame. A dark redemption arc with passenger characters like a dude trapped inside a smoke mask. It's the kind of mid-tier manga adaptation that usually gets 1 core and then a shrug. They gave it 2 full cores. Pay attention to what that means in 2026.
Oh, bro, so if they greenlit 24 episodes of this off the jump, that means they're very confident in this series as a whole, which means this is worth checking out. Okay, motherfucker. So far, so good. Oda also got a life-size giraffe doll in his living room, averages 3 hours of sleep, also has a life-size mechanical shark in his office, and a popcorn machine. Bro, smart but weird. You know, most creatives are going to be quirky like that, bro. And yeah, his work regimen is why like you're seeing One Piece go to a seasonal anime now. It's really to preserve his health, because he started having health issues because he's been working so fucking hard for so long. And they actually did like a graph of like the times One Piece has gone on break or hiatus, and it's gradually increased over the years. A, as Oda has gotten older, and B, as his health has started to like take in effect. So I think Toei is like, hey, well, we don't want you to die before you complete this shit, so we need you to chill out. We're not gonna let you work yourself to sleep. So hopefully he's getting more rest and doing his things. But yeah, creative minds are often quirky minds, bro. Fucking facts.
Now, this one I've been waiting for since the manga exploded on Anime Japan's Want to See animated poll last year.
余命わずかな私はある日何者かにさらわれた。
あんた殺されるようなことしたの？
考えるのよ。生きて出られる方法を。
Firefly Wedding is a Meiji-era romance about a dying noblewoman who proposes marriage to the assassin sent to kill her. He says yes, he also takes till death do us part uncomfortably, literally. David Production is handling it, yeah, the JoJo and Fire Force people, and it's landing in October, which is the closest thing anime has to a prestige drama stamp. The adaptation has a complete story.
One Piece anime should have gone to seasonal years ago. Yeah, nah, I think that would have been better, bro. And that's crazy. Like, it literally just went to seasonal this year. Think about that shit, bro. It's been fucking nonstop, like, the farther that pace goes, for like 20 fucking plus years, bro. Like 27 years. It's like, goddamn, bro. Thank God this motherfucker didn't drop sooner, bro. Like, what the fuck? And it's gonna be more, and that's how you kind of know, I think, too, that it's starting to approach the end game, where they feel comfortable being like, all right, cool, like, let's back it up a bit now. There's not that much left. So apparently the author of Naruto took over the writing in 2015 while Oda got sick because he worked like 140 hours a week. Like, yeah, bro, like, Oda has had an insane work schedule, and it just speaks to his passion and his dedication as a mangaka, right? And it's not like he's unique in that respect. Like, mangaka are known for their work ethic. And I think for him, bro, like, I think he knew that he had such an epic story with One Piece that he felt like that maniacal drive to get it out. Just because you think about it, at the pace that he went for as long as he did, from 99 to 2026, so 27 years at that sort of breakneck pace, and it still took him almost 3 decades, and he's not done. So you can understand, like, if you as a mangaka kind of know where you're going with this, and obviously Oda is a planner, right? In order to construct a world like One Piece, like, you have to be a planner. So he's not just writing as he goes, kind of like a Toriyama would or some other people sort of would. So you know, like, fuck, dude, I have a lot of this to go. So that he probably put a lot of that pressure on himself, especially as One Piece grew to become the juggernaut that it is, right? One Piece is literally propping up Shonen Jump. Like, bro. And now it's the #1 IP in the world. You feel me? So I can only imagine the pressure he must have put on himself as a creator to see that through. But yeah, fool, like, now he's gotten to a point where he can, hey, bro, chill out a little bit. Like, we're going to finish it, but don't drop before you do. You know what I mean?
To work with. It's gothic, it's bloody, it's a bit romantic in a way that will probably ruin someone's evening. So, perfect.
私と一緒になれば全てが手に。
Where apparently in the second to last or third to last arc, though. Yeah, last I heard, like, they said there's something like, there's a few years of it left. Like, I think, like, anywhere from 3, you said like 3 to 5 years of One Piece left. But yeah, they said it's like it's entering the end game. It's entering the end game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think One Piece is done by like 2030 or like 2031 at the latest. I think we're almost there, which is why I need to get caught up.
入ります。私たち結婚しましょう。
俺ちょっと愛が重いけど。
Question. When was the last time an anime film landed at Cannes before it even hit Japanese theaters?
何これ。星行太郎くんって1組にいない？知らないの。この学校の4大会。
Oh, this is a different art style. Okay. Okay, this is different.
トロはね、この学校のスターで。
本当は人間じゃないんだよ。
Because We Are Aliens just got selected for Director's Fortnight this May, and almost nobody in the anime space is talking about it. It's an original coming-of-age film in Heisei-era setting, 2 elementary schoolboys, a rural town, a small incident that breaks them apart, and a reunion 30 years later. Rotoscope-leaning aesthetic, crowd-funded origin music by Yaffle, it's exactly the kind of film that gets 10,000 tweets when it wins something at a festival and 0 tweets before. I'm flagging it now so you can feel smug about it later. Heads up, this is the art house curveball of 2026, and you'll thank me when it actually wins big. If you've been around the manga community long enough, you know the absolute legend of this specific title.
I'm definitely liking the music for this piece so much. This definitely gets you in the right sort of frame of mind. Okay.
I still can't believe Siren is finally getting a proper adaptation after years of fans practically begging on their knees for it. For the uninitiated, we follow Ageha Yoshina as he gets dragged into a lethal time-traveling death game set.
Siren, let's go. All right, cool. So Roger, so you know Siren Run. Is this someone that you've been waiting on? Is this one gonna be dope or what? Like, is this one that we need to be checking for? Let me know, bro. Let me know. It seems like you have the ball knowledge on this one, bro. If this is a go, tell your boy, man.
In a post-apocalyptic wasteland. This is early 2000s battle shonen distilled into its purest, most nostalgic form, but with a surprisingly dark psychological edge. The psychic power system is incredibly versatile, leading to some of the most creative, mind-bending skirmishes I've ever read. Seeing the desolate, ruined landscapes of the future brought to life with modern animation is a literal dream come true for me. It combines apocalyptic survival with intense supernatural combat.
Oh, so this is a post-apocalyptic style story? Bro, I fuck with that sort of shit. Zombie genre, post-apocalyptic shit, I'm a super big fan, bro. So this is checking some boxes for me. This is probably going to be a watch, bro. I'm not going to hold you. I fuck with that sort of shit. And he said it has battle shonen components. What? Get the fuck out of here. Said it was a good read. All right, cool. What I'll probably do is I'll probably read a few chapters of the manga just to get a fucking feel for it, and then I'll watch the series when it drops. That sounds dope.
Promising a relentlessly paced thrill ride that longtime fans and newcomers alike will devour. Did you add anything to your watch list yet? If the answer is yes, you need to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. If not, here are 5 more.
今、西暦何年だ
1974年
あの子はどうしてこんな場所に
この島の言い伝えに神隠しとまれびとってのがある
ここは私の知っている時島じゃないの。私話さなきゃいけないことがあるの。
A boy runs from a secret to a remote island at the cove of
To You in the Beyond. I like the punchy title. That sounds pretty dope.
Spiriting away, he finds a girl unconscious on the rocks who wakes up remembering only her name, her age, and the year that she's from. That's To You in the Beyond, a TMS theatrical film premiering October 9th, directed by Junichi Wada, with the screenplay from Sayaka Kuwamura. Yes, the Josie, the Tiger, and the Fish writer. Adapted from a novel by Honya Daisho winning...
This has like a sort of like Ghibli feel to it. I'm fucking with it, bro. It reminds me of like Your Name, or what was the other one, dude? Musume? Hold on. Anime movies 2025. What was the name of that shit? I can't remember that shit. It might have been 2024, bro. No. This is gonna bug me, dude. Oh, this is gonna fucking bug me if I can't remember this shit. That the bitch with the magic. If I had a fucking chair. Oh my god, it wasn't from 2023. No, it wasn't. No fucking way, bro. Oh man, what was it called? I'm just gonna type Ume. Hold on. Anime movie guy turns into cherry. Yeah, there it is. Suzume. There we go. This shit reminds me of fucking Suzume. See, you gotta know how to fucking search for shit sometimes. I was like, hold on, bro. Yeah, Suzume. I need to rewatch this, bro. But yeah, this shit looks just like fucking Suzume. Hold on. I'm excited for this anime coming out in 2027 called Kindergarten Wars. It's about kindergartens using guns. That sounds fucking many, and I'm all for that, bro. That would be an insta watch for me. Insta lock.
Author Akiko Abe, which has been quietly circulating in Japanese TikTok for years. This is the melancholic, slow burn, gorgeous soundtrack kind of anime film that usually gets one North American theatrical window and then lives forever on import Blu-ray. While that said, he cried in bed after reading the novel, which is either marketing or a genuine red flag about how hard this is going to hit. Either way, I'm fully in for this one.
何ができるのかわからない。
私は汚れた人間だ。これは神様の罰なんだ。
She said, I'm a filthy human being. This is God's punishment. He wasn't kidding about the goddamn milk. I would have been like, damn, bitch, like, don't be so fucking hard. Don't be so fucking hard on yourself, man. Calm down.
どこよりも遠い場所にいる君へ。この町に何しに来た？
Goro Taniguchi is back and he's bringing absolute mechanical chaos to the screen.
Yeah, I'm already fucking with this. The rock intro, the motherfucking cyberpunk kind of look to it. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is already a go for me. Before I even know the name of this shit, I'm already fucking with it.
Dark Machine, the animation meshes high-stakes esports.
Look, I'm telling you guys, VinnyTube knows ball. Like, this fool makes some good recommendations. He knows this shit. Like, if you haven't sub to his channel, check out his videos, man. He has elite ball knowledge. He's like, it's about a kindergarten with the kids of important people there, so they get former assassins to protect them from the contract killers trying to kill the kids. That sounds dope. Okay, so does it follow the kindergartners or does it follow the assassins in particular? I'll check that. It's called Kindergarten War. Hold on, Kindergarten Wars. Kindergarten Wars. That blends action, romance, comedy. A kindergarten for the children of the world's elite, where the teachers are retired assassins. The story follows legendary assassin turned teacher Rita as she protects her students from other assassins while searching for love, often getting distracted by attractive. That sounds hilarious, bro. Hey, you said this is getting adapted next year? This looks pretty dope. I'm fucking with this. Okay, for sure.
With gritty cyberpunk mecha warfare, and it's as aggressively awesome as it actually sounds. We enter Golden Valley, an economic zone entirely dependent on underground mech. We enter
Dark Machine, the animation. I just fuck with the name. That sounds dope too.
Dark Machine, the animation meshes high-stakes esports with gritty cyberpunk mecha warfare, and it's as aggressively awesome as it actually sounds. We enter Golden Valley, an economic zone entirely dependent on underground mech battles fueled by mysterious Palmer crystals. I'm a sucker for stories where corporate greed collides with underground street culture. Kairi, our protagonist, gets thrown into this hyper-competitive meat grinder, and the resulting battles are pure adrenaline. The mechanical designs are sharply detailed, feeling weighty and dangerous.
Bro, well done mecha anime are always fucking fire, bro. Like, right or wrong. Well done mecha anime, fool. They always have a super dope aesthetic, and they tend, from what I can see, to have like halfway decent stories all the time. Like, I'm trying to think like a bad mecha anime that I've seen, and I can't really think of one that I've personally watched. I'm sure they exist. But I'm like, usually when I'm watching an anime with like a mech focus or a mecha component, I'm usually enjoying it.
Rather than pristine, it tackles the ruthless nature of competitive gaming while wrapping it in a dystopian sci-fi conspiracy. The pacing looks furious, the soundtrack is undeniably raw, and the overall aesthetic is dripping with neon-lit grime. Strap in, because this series is primed to be an explosive, high-octane spectacle.
面白いゲーム、締まりはなかった。
军就是条死路，学不会魔法比连他的狗都打不过。萧红是我的青梅竹马，我答应过会在他成年
So we got us a Don one now. Okay. Got a little Chinese action.
的那天去看。把我吞下去，让我寄宿在你身体里。
The Chinese animation scene has been quietly evolving into an absolute powerhouse, and Crowded in 100 Days is undeniable proof of that glow-up. The premise is straightforward but flawlessly executed. An absolute nobody is given exactly 100 days to ascend from a pathetic ant to a conquering king. I'm incredibly impressed by how Studio Land handles the sheer scale of this zero-to-hero journey. It doesn't skip the gruesome training or...
Bro, you know, interesting enough, when it comes to Danwa, what's kind of tough for me sometimes is like, the spoken like Mandarin or whatever sometimes is a little bit rough on my ear. So I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, I think I'd be so used to the way Japanese sounds that like I found like the spoken Chinese to be a little off-putting at times, just because I'm like, I keep expecting it to sound a certain way, and so it'll throw me off just a little bit every time. I really have to like lock in when I'm watching like subbed like Donware Chinese works and shit, and like the dubs are always ass. So I'm like, fuck, fool. But yeah, nah, but the Chinese works, bro, like. Their animation, bro, is high octane, bro. Those fools are bringing the heat. I'm not gonna hold you.
The humiliating defeats, every single power-up feels earned through blood and broken bones. The choreography is remarkably fluid, seamlessly blending martial arts with heavy fantasy elements. We're talking about jaw-dropping set pieces that rival big-budget theatrical releases. Watching our protagonist claw his way up the societal food chain is intensely satisfying. If you need a raw, motivational action epic to get your blood pumping, this Donghua will absolutely deliver.
高上吊100天，不许练。
Genius Club is the Donghua I actually want to hand sell to people.
那些掌控历史的人，隐藏在迷雾中。
All right, Sakiko Sensei, what's cracking? So, man, we've been having a good stream so far. We were talking about Netflix becoming the new big dog of anime, the One Piece remake being Netflix exclusive, what that's going to be looking like. And then we've been reacting to some new videos, man. New Isekai coming out this year, and then some new 2026 anime coming out this year by the new ViniTube here, just talking about these series, man. It's looking pretty dope. It's been a solid-ass stream, so thanks for popping in with us. Do me a favor, like the stream and sub to the channel if you haven't already. But yeah, man, we in here kicking it. Welcome.
加入天才俱乐部，明贤，你的猫鼠游戏已经开始。
谁是猫？
It's a 2D Tencent production, yes 2D, which is already rare in their usual CG-heavy lineup, adapted from a Chinese web novel by City Cicada. The hook is Groundhog Day meets a detective thriller. Every night at 12:42, reality sets inside a shared dream, and a cat-and-mouse game plays out between a future chess master and the pawns he's manipulating. Fans on Weibo have been losing it over apparent character cameos from real historical geniuses.
Yes, Crunchyroll was indeed a pirate site. In fact, how MAPPA feels after paying their animators $3,000 a year, making sure they never see their family or son. Fucking facts, bro. Though they said they're committed to providing better working conditions now. But yeah, they definitely been giving their animators the belt to give us the anime that we know and love. It's kind of like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like we're benefiting from that abuse, but we would prefer that they didn't abuse the people working for them to get us the finished product. But it's one of those things where it's like, you know, you use your iPhone knowing that it's full of conflict minerals that some 9-year-old in Africa probably mined and put together in a sweatshop factory in China probably, you know what I'm saying? I guess you try not to think about it too much, I guess. Said Crunchyroll a pirate. Yeah, but yep. I hope AniWatch doesn't get taken down. That's my go-to. I think the best way that we can contribute to not having sites on the high seas get taken down is just not to speak about them. You feel me? Imagine getting a little money and then forgetting your roots. Hey, bro. Crunchyroll has forgotten a lot of things, bro. You know, once upon a time, Crunchyroll was a pretty base service, bro. You know, they say, you know, die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And Crunchyroll has definitely become a motherfucking villain. I'm not going to fucking hold you. Like I was mentioning earlier in my stream, bro, like the reason why I think Netflix is so prime is so primed if they really wanted to, and it seems like they do. The reason why they're so primed to take over anime streaming is because people who are willing to pay for a streaming service for anime fundamentally do not like Crunchyroll. And even if you don't like mind Crunchyroll, everybody has a Crunchyroll story, bro. And everybody has a negative Crunchyroll story of in some way, shape, or form, bro. Their service is fundamentally flawed. They're constantly having issues with their localizations. There's all sorts of shit, bro. They license series and censor them, where it's like, bro, why did you even license this at all? You know this is full of tits and all sorts of shit. Like, you know this isn't aligned with your platform. You know you guys are squeamish about this. Why did you license this? Oh, you just want to make sure nobody else can. Like, little dumbass shit like that they just do, bro. And people are fucking sick and tired of their bullshit. So the day Netflix decides to flip the switch and be like, you know what? We're going full bore 100% into anime, which they're starting to do. Look, so that MAPPA partnership, yeah, getting data fucking leaked all the fucking time, bro. Yes, dude, 100%. That MAPPA partnership, I don't know if you heard about it, but check back earlier in my stream. Long story short, MAPPA is entering an agreement to produce series for Netflix, right? And they're gonna go around the traditional committee model, right? So rather than MAPPA producing series that they've been handed and been greenlighted by a production committee, they're going to partner directly with Netflix, and MAPPA will essentially be curating those series. So if MAPPA feels like it'll be a hit, Netflix will cut the check, they adapt it, right? But here's the thing. All of those series are going to be Netflix exclusives. They're not going to be available on any other streaming platforms. The same way the One Piece remake that's coming out next year by WIT is going to be a Netflix exclusive as well. The same way the Ramen 1/2 and Sakamoto Days and all these shits are Netflix exclusives, fool. So you think that other studios aren't paying attention to this partnership? Do you think that they're not looking and saying, I wonder how this is going to go? And if it works well, that other studios won't approach Netflix, or Netflix hasn't approached other studios and other studios haven't told them, we'll see how your MAPPA shit goes? Like, bro, they're primed to take over. And think about it. If you could pick between, right, having a Crunchyroll subscription and a Netflix subscription, or just having a Netflix subscription and getting all the same anime you would have got, what would you pick? I'll just pay the dub for Netflix and get all this anime full and have access to Netflix's entire other catalog. Come on, bro. Let's see. Well, yeah, getting how Crunchyroll knows what they're doing wrong and how they can get people back, but they keep doubling it. Yeah, bro, that's because Crunchyroll really doesn't give a fuck. You really, like, that's why, like, Crunchyroll absorbing Funimation and all coming together under that Sony umbrella was such a big problem for me, bro. Because lack of competition leads to the sort of bullshit that that Crunchyroll does. That's why I really wanted High Dive as a service to succeed, but High Dive has struggled. Even just in that anime subscriber streaming platform space, Crunchyroll has like 21 million active subscribers. I think High Dive has less than 1 million. And High Dive has some, like, they have a good catalog because they have all the Sentai work shit, but they have some fundamental issues with their UI and their overall service that they haven't fixed, bro. So it creates issues. And let's see. Boom. Hollywood is trying to take down anime because they're losing people. Yes, fool. What they're trying to control anime. But here's the thing, yeah, if anime becomes like the Hollywood shit, if anime becomes like Western shit, it'll die. That's why it's important for us to gatekeep this hobby and raise hell whenever they try to fuck with it, bro. Because, yeah, otherwise, if you want anime to end up like Star Wars and Star Trek and Doctor Who and all these other fucking shows, or have it look like ass like motherfucking Invincible, then let them have their way with it. You feel me? Yep. One time I was watching an underground Isekai anime and the subtitle said ChatGPT generate. Yeah, bro. And there was actually, I don't remember which one it was, but there was an actual Crunchyroll series that had that same sort of line, ChatGPT generated, insert boom boom in there. They had forgotten to take it out, bro. Yes, bro. Facts, like that Why movie made 800 million. Think about it, bro. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle made more money than Superman and the Fantastic Four. You think Hollywood doesn't fucking see that? Off of a $10 million budget. Superman had like a $300 million budget. Fantastic Four had like a $400 million budget. Demon Slayer made more than both of them off a $10 million budget. You think they don't see that? And you think they don't want to get their nasty fucking Hollywood hands all over it? They'd be like, yeah, this is great. Just change all this other shit to make it like the Western slop that nobody likes, and it'll be even fucking better. You feel me? But they want to get a piece of that pie, but they don't respect the fucking medium at all. We have to gatekeep. And don't let people online gaslight you guys into thinking that gatekeeping isn't fine. No, dude. The reason why this shit is hot is because it's Japanese. We can't let them change it, bro. And even in these online spaces, we have to fucking speak. Yep, if everything falls under one umbrella, then it just gets monopolized, which is what Crunchyroll wants. 100%, bro. Because the reason why, for me, even though when it comes to, like, the anime space, per se, they haven't been as bad. If you look at what Sony does with anime video games and the censorships that they press there, I was like, all right, cool. If you'll do it for anime games, why wouldn't you do it for anime titles? And I was like, if they have too much control, it's only a matter of time before they start doing shit. And they always, like, bro, like, you see it, you see evidence of it. Like, for example, you had what they did with Itsushoku Reviewers a few years ago, right? And then what they did with, like, please put them on Takamine-san, what was that, last year or the year before? Why are you licensing shit that you know you're going to be squeamish about? Why are you licensing things that you know isn't in line with what you as a platform tend to prefer? Oh, you don't want another platform to get this. And they do bullshit like that all the time, bro. I think people as a whole have just lost faith and trust in Crunchyroll. They have terrible dub localizations with people putting all sorts of extra shit in there. As a service, people just don't trust them. Yeah, bro, exactly. Sony censoring Stellar Blade, exactly, bro. All sorts of shit, 100%. So when you see the censorship and all, or like what Sony did with Right Stuff Anime, when Crunchyroll bought them, right? With Right Stuff Anime, bro, a independent manga and like Blu-ray retailer going back decades, and they had all the shit. Manga, light novels, Blu-rays, merchandise, ecchi shit, hentai, whatever you liked. Decades old. They bought them. They said nothing was going to change. We're just going to own them. They immediately got rid of all the adult elements. And then within 2 years, Right Stuff was deprecated and just rolled into the Crunchyroll store. An independent retailer gone, destroyed. Shit like that is why people hate Crunchyroll and Sony, bro. And it's shit like that that lets you know that you cannot trust them as a company, bro. This is just a fact, bro. This is just a fact. So if I'm like, all right, cool. If I have to pick one, Netflix has its own problems, yes, but they've also shown a willingness to let shit be if it's gonna make bread, and if you have the right people telling them to fuck off. You feel me? Like, for example, you have the Cowboy Bebop live action, which was a shit show, and then you have the One Piece live action. As a One Piece anime fan, I'm not like the biggest fan of the One Piece live action, but Oda having final say makes me okay with it. And for the most part, they haven't fucked it up too bad, right? Cool. But if you don't have a person like Oda saying, hey, dude, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro, I'm crying. I searched up Crunchyroll on YouTube, and all I saw was shorts with thumbnails saying shit like, do not buy, it's over, beyond greedy, shutting out. Yeah, bro. Like, people don't fuck with Crunchyroll, dog. And, like, it's a service. We have it. We use it. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to stream to your devices, all sorts of shit. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you guys a story. So, I'll tell you guys, everybody has a Crunchyroll story, right? I have my Crunchyroll subscription, right? Cool, no problems. You know, every now and then, your card expires, right? Card expires, time for a new one. Get a new one in the mail. Cool. Card expired. Need to update the payment. In the time where that's happening, the membership lapsed. Cool, right? Now, initially, I had started the Crunchyroll subscription like through the App Store on Apple. I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to just have it on the website, right? When I tell you, fool, that it took me like a month and a half to be able to switch the account to being able to just do it on the website and add a new card. And at first they're like, oh, you have to cancel this subscription through the web store. I'm like, all right, cool. I already fucking did that. They're like, oh, well, on our end, it's still showing that is on the App Store. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's fucking canceled. And what does that matter anyway? I'm just trying to update the fucking card payment. It won't take it. I'm getting an error message every single time. When I tell you, fool, that they had to up the ticket to like someone in their like back-end IT department to fix my fucking account just so I could add a new card payment and pay them, I was like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? The most elementary shit. It took him like a month and a half to fix that shit. I was like, you know what, bro? This is what the fuck people are talking about. Like, I'm going to be honest. I feel like Netflix will increase subscription if it becomes #1 anime service. Well, you know, they're already doing that. So I feel like Netflix is upping their subscription prices every year, but they're going to do that regardless, right? But I feel like if they make the big go with anime, right, it'll kind of make more sense. Because now imagine, okay, cool. Right now, you will watch anime on Netflix, but you don't necessarily go to Netflix for anime, right? You go to Netflix for everything else. Even though they have some series that you'll watch. I tell this story, like, when I'm traveling, Netflix makes it really easy to download episodes for offline viewing. Like, they make it really, really easy, and it's all under the same subscription tier. Whereas with fucking Crunchyroll, you have to have like the highest subscription tier to be able to download shit for offload viewing. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys, right? So when I'm traveling and I'm gonna be on a long plane ride, I will go on Netflix and download it there so I can have this shit to watch on the plane. If you're going to Netflix as your one-stop shop for anime, let's imagine that more studios partner with them for exclusive licensing, and you're going there to watch your anime, it makes sense. Because now you're watching all the newest anime there too, right? Plus their other library and shit, right? Then the subscription starts to justify itself. It's become the everything streaming app. Because I think with Netflix is stepping into the live sports. Then you have anime, and then you have their regular programming catalog, bro. Like, it would be kind of hard to beat, right? So it'd be one of them things. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that over, I'd say, the next 18 to 24 months. Because like I said, with the MAPPA partnership, every anime MAPPA produces for Netflix will be a Netflix exclusive. I was thinking maybe they were going to double dip, because I was like, either way, it would be a win-win for Netflix, right? Because let's say they bankroll some shit and it's on Crunchyroll, then they would eat off of that, or it's off Netflix, boom, they're eating either way, right? So and Crunchyroll wouldn't have a leg to stand on, because either Crunchyroll is like, okay, well, fuck you guys, we're not going to pay to license it if it's on Netflix, Netflix wins, or it's on both and Netflix wins. Because it only takes a couple of those mainstream series to be on both, and someone has Netflix, they'll be like, oh, I can just watch this on Netflix, for people to start to use Netflix more. And any way that it becomes one of those things where all the big lineups are on Netflix now, it'd be kind of hard to be like, shit, fool, why don't I just fuck with Netflix? Because Netflix has some stigma, but they don't have as much stigma as Crunchyroll does, bro. That's 100%. Like, I can say, like, if the catalog that we see was on Netflix, I would be hard-pressed, fool. I would be hard-pressed. I'm not going to hold you. But yeah, let's continue this shit up. Yeah, bro, there's some interesting shit going on in the anime and manga space, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm really interested to see what happens.
Like, including Einstein. I also can't stop thinking about it. The release window is 2026 with no lock date. If you like the brain game pacing of Stein's Gate or Erased, this is the exact flavor of anime you want on your radar, and honestly, the premise alone sold me. And finally, the one that's been sitting in my backlog as more of a feeling than a release date.
Bro, Ranking of Kings is super slept on. What do you guys think? Nah, let's just stop trashing on the big crunch. I don't want to regret my subscription. Nah, fool, don't regret your subscription. You can speak facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Crunchyroll pisses me the fuck off as a service, but I try to maintain them. You know what I'm saying? When they do good, they do good. The problem is when they're on bullshit, they're on bullshit. But never regret it, fool. I mean, it's easier to stream legally than it is to sell the high seas, bro. It's more convenient. And you don't have to worry about your computer blowing up. you feel me? Like, it has its pros. Like, if they just did less fuck shit, it wouldn't be a problem, bro. The problem is they just do a lot of fuck shit. But nah, don't regret your subscription. There's nothing to regret about. Not at all. Not at all.
Witch on the Holy Night.
This shit looks like Fate Stay Night. That bitch look like Ren. Hold on, bro. Witch on the Holy Night. I like that. I like Supernatural. Tell me she don't look like Ren right here a little bit from Fate Stay Night a little bit. Bro, this looks just like fucking Fate Stay Night. What the fuck? Witch on the Holy Night.
Type Moon fans have been waiting for an adaptation.
Ah, didn't I fucking call it, fool? Didn't I fucking call it, bro? And he said it's a Type Moon. I said this looks like Fate Stay Night, and it's done by Type Moon. Look, guys, I know ball. I know fucking ball, bro. And I remember Nami, you asked me, like, do I just watch, like, underground series or do I watch mainstream? This is why I told you I watch 1,000,001 motherfucking series, because you start to recognize patterns, you start to recognize series, you get to call out studios, and you get to demonstrate elite ball knowledge, bro. Yeah, I think it is, bro. It's like Ranking of Kings, season 1 was great. Then the second season was just episodes that got taken out of season 1. Yeah, bro. I feel like Ranking of Kings was one of those ones. I'm not going to say it was slept on because people were talking about it, but I didn't feel like people talked about it enough, bro. Like Boji's story, like that was one of them shows, bro, where you were just fucking rooting for Boji. You wanted that little nigga to win, bro. And it just made you feel good. And the music was fucking fire. And like the characters are super nuanced. Like, even the evil witch girl, you know what I'm saying? You see, like, you kind of get why she's the way she is, you know what I'm saying? And all that sort of shit. Like, it was done well in just a way that only the Japanese would be able to tell a story like that nowadays. You feel me? Like, if that same story, if they're trying to tell it coming out of the West, it would have been a train wreck. You feel me? But, yeah, I feel like it's done by a Type Moon. Let's see if it's in the same universe. Let's see.
Since 2012, announced as a Ufotable film back in 2021, and now finally being confirmed to release.
Oh, and Ufotable's doing it? Get the fuck out of here. You know it's going to be peak animation-wise. Come on, guys.
Theatrically in 2026. Set in the late 1980s, this Type Moon classic follows Aoko Aozaki, a modern mage juggling high school life with the lethal responsibility of protecting her territory.
Oh, yeah. Nah, it is in the same universe. It's 100% the same universe. Territories, mages, that's definitely Fate series shit. Okay, for sure.
Late 1980s, Showa coastal town atmosphere, soft twilight melancholy.
So it might not take place during the Grail War, but you know that's part of the Fate, say, like fucking lore or whatnot. Mages, they have territories that they're responsible for, so on and so forth. So there may not be a Holy Grail component, but this is definitely like in that Fate shit. Like, the story was so good, would still want another season for Ranking of Kings that actually continues the story. Yeah, man, I hope they do, bro. That would be sick. And I feel like it did good enough to warrant it. You feel me? Hold on, yeah, bro. Yeah, Ranking of Kings was solid, bro.
Castle's pros. Ufotable is coming off the Infinity Castle film, so they're at a creative peak.
Bro, Infinity Castle was so good, bro. That shit, I was in theater like, fuck yeah. Finally seeing Akaza's fucking story animated. I had waited so many years for that shit, and it didn't fucking disappoint. That motherfucker Akaza was giving Giyu and fucking Tanjiro the belt. He took him behind the shed and was giving him the belt. His wife had to come back from the afterlife to tell him to chill. That's the only way they could win. Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. You watch Your Lie in April yearly? Bro, you're crazy, bro. You're crazy, bro. Jesus fucking Christ. You're a masochist.
And director details drop this spring. After 4 years of silence, it's real, and I'm not gonna oversell it. I'm just gonna quietly count down those days. The wait's been absurd, and I'm honestly just relieved it's real.
Bro, wait, hold on. When did you say it's dropping? Hold on, bro. Hold on, cuz. Hold on.
Over coastal town atmosphere, soft twilight melancholy, Nasu's pros. Ufotable is coming off the Infinity Castle film, so they're at a creative peak, and director details drop this spring. After 4 years of silence, it's real, and I'm not gonna oversell it. I'm just gonna.
Oh, so they don't have a date for it yet. Gotta watch it every April, otherwise they'll forget. Hey man, I respect it. We have those ones sometimes where you're like, yo, we gotta rewatch this shit.
Quietly count down those days. The wait's been absurd, and I'm honestly just relieved it's real.
Oh, that was fucking fire, bro.
Conservative when really you're just a
Oh man, all right. Wait, let me run that back here. So make sure you go ahead and check out Video 2, man. Give the video a like, give him a sub. Like I said, he's always fucking making good recommendations like this. He's team. But all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here for tonight. Hey, folks, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Once again, if you guys haven't already, make sure like the stream, but subscribe to this channel and turn on the post notifications. Usually every week I'm streaming, so it's either gonna be Friday night, or if I missed a Friday night for some reason, then it's Saturday night. I might get to the point where I stream like double like that, just in general. But yeah, Fridays, Saturdays, we're streaming, we're hanging out. And then I got new Mushka Tensei Isekai content coming soon. Editor is finally back. Got an accident, but he's gonna be working, dude. So it's gonna be dope. I appreciate y'all kicking it. I even read the manga while listening to the opening theme, slow plus reverb for full experience. Hey, that's fucking lit, fool. Hey, thanks for the sub, fool. I appreciate you. But yeah, nah, that's dope, dude. Okay, cool. So, I've never read the manga for it, bro. So I might read the manga and check that shit out. For sure. Rogers, I appreciate you, man. Hey, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys next week. Let's get to it, bro. Otherwise, peace, love, and happiness, man. I appreciate y'all.